You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Pleasant good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium in Grand Prairie, Texas, for the continuation of Minor League Cricket 2024. This is the fourth season in progress. This matchup featuring another Central Division match between the Dallas Xforia Giants, who are the home team, and the Lone Star Athletics, visiting from Austin. There's a picture of the Lone Star Athletics. So you're seeing them first because they'll be batting first. Dallas Xforia Giants winning the toss, choosing to have a bat. First two names on your screen, OSZ and Arya Kanantha, will be the two opening batters. Nitish Kumar, fantastic all-rounder, mostly a batter these days, from up north, from Canada, represented the U.S. in the World Cup recently. Captain today by Sidesh Patara because they've lost their regular captain, Smith Patel, who is away on national duty. We've also lost Shayan Jahangir from the Lone Star Athletics for that same reason. And the rest of the team, a pretty good side, a side that has a lot of left-arm fast bowling. We'll talk about that through the rest of the day. We'll see them, of course, when they come into bowl. But that's, to me, one of the storylines, the left-arm fast bowling that the Lone Star Athletics have. Here are the Dallas Xforia Giants. Also lost somebody, lost a pretty big name, Harmeet Singh, on national duty as well, being captained by Akashik Gomel, the third name that you see there on your list on the top. Good talent all the way down. Gaurav Bajaj, Chaitanya Bishnoi, Shubham Ranjane, Raman Dar, Sankirth Batula, Abhinav Chowdhury. Exciting young keeper, Arjun Mahesh. And overall, it's going to be an interesting matchup. On-field umpires are going to be Partha Patanaik and Samir Bandekar. By the way, this is Brian Walters. Happy to be with you for the next 3 hours as we take a look at the points table. This essentially is going to be a middle-of-the-table matchup. The Lone Star Athletics, as of right now, with 4 points, and the Dallas Xforia Giants, 3 points. Far and away, the team with the most number of points is the Houston Hurricanes. Michigan Cricket Stars, unfortunately for them, at the opposite end of that spectrum, have played 3, have yet to win a game. But in this truncated season, things can change very, very quickly. So I think you'll see both of these teams wanting to get off to a good start here. Under lights, of course, it is currently 7:28 p.m. Central Time. This time of the year, the sun goes away somewhere around 7:20 or so. So we'll be playing this entire game under lights. Very hot, very muggy. I would estimate somewhere around 90 degrees Fahrenheit. Umpire Samir Bandekar is standing at the river end, the southern end of the ground. And the man with the new ball in hand is going to be Shubham Ranjane, opening the bowling to the left-handed Awazia. Arya Kanantha, the non-striker, young, exciting U19 opener. Shubham Ranjane has opened the bowling, typically bowls during the middle overs, but has the capacity to bowl during the opening overs. Of course, the opening overs are the power play overs. During those overs, you can only have 2 fielders allowed outside the circle. The first 6 overs, the first 36 legal deliveries. And we're probably less than a minute before we get started here, just waiting for the TV people to do what they do. Going to be an exciting match. The pitch number 8, the furthest easternmost pitch on the ground. So we'll talk about what that means with regards to the dimensions. It's going to be one side of the field that's significantly shorter in terms of square boundaries than the other. We'll talk about that as it becomes relevant. But as of right now, umpire Samir Bandekar, whose back is to you right now, you heard him say play, and we're about to get going. Here's the first ball. Bang on target. Bowling over the wicket to the right-handed to the left-handed batter. Over the wicket, generally what you're looking to do as a fast bowler is to curl that ball back in and threaten the stumps. And from that angle, you have two different options. The stock ball will be curling back in to threaten the stumps, but you also have the one that goes across the left-hander, which is why you see Akashit Gomel, who's there right in your picture, top right, who's ready for that one that threatens the outside edge. And that's a good line, exactly where you want to be, that line that asks the batter to play. Don't want to give him any free sighters, and what you want to do for any of the new batters is to make them play. And it's interesting that you certainly have a slip fielder, Akashit Gomel, exactly where you have him there, but there's also deep third and there's a gully. Obviously at this stage of the innings you want the batter to be playing as much as possible, but you want him to be playing to deliveries that essentially are threatening the outside edge, like that. Beautiful delivery going right across him. Look at that ball slanting right across, has Awazia in two minds, ends up with just a tentative poke. So 3 dot balls on the trot. Good start here with the ball for Shubham Ranjane. And again, he's definitely a good bowler. His stock ball isn't quite as quick as you'd expect from an opening bowler. The other opening bowler, I believe, is going to be Sankirth Batula, who may just be a little bit quicker, but still Shubham Ranjane very accurate. Slash and a miss, and this time it's a little too wide for the liking of umpire Samir Bandekar. So the first run is on the board. Shubham Ranjane commits the, not necessarily a cardinal sin. If you're going to bowl a wide, it's better to bowl it wide out there than too straight going down the leg side. So he's bowling the line generally that he wants. Wants something on off stump, in or around off stump. If you're going to miss, it's better to miss too wide because you always have more fielders on the offside than you do the leg side. Nevertheless, having said that, a bit of a change in the field now because the fielder who was down at deep third is now much wider. He's at a deep point, one of 2 outside the circle. And then there is a fielder now at gully. So they're strengthening the catching opportunities on that side of the field. Quick single taken here. And that's the first run off the bats. So anytime you're batting with a lefty and a righty, that certainly puts you in a position where you have to shift the field a lot. The stock ball is best bowled to the off stump for both the left-hander and right-hander. So for a fast bowler or for any bowler, you're going to want to target the off stump, and the off stump will be different for a lefty and a righty, which means that you certainly are also going to have to make sure that the field switches around, which is why it can be disruptive. But interestingly, top left of your screen, there are now 2 slips in position because Shubham Ranjane is bowling outswingers, looking to catch the outside edge. That's a good line. That's an excellent line. You want the ball to be going in that direction, and the stock ball from Shubham Ranjane is leaving the right-handed batter. It's going into the left-handed Awazia, but it's going away from Arya Kanantha, which is why you have 2 slips. Those 2 slips right there to the top left of your screen. First slip is the captain, Akashit Gomel, and he's managing things very effectively, wanting to set a relatively aggressive tone up front. You like seeing that. Last ball coming up here over number 1. Down the leg side, overcorrecting now. That might have been a good ball for the lefty, but for the right-hander, it is certainly one that needs to be rebowled. Talked a little bit about the dimensions. So as you look at your screen, to the left of your screen, that is the western side of the ground. It is the much bigger side of the ground. The boundary out there to the left is 80 yards. It's a pretty big hit. That will be, if you're hitting big on that side of the ground, it will be a pretty large hit. The eastern side, and we'll get back to that after this ball, looks to slash this away, misses. That is the end of the over. Maybe take a quick break and then we'll come back and talk about the dimensions again. That's end of over number 1. The score's 3 without loss.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
One over in the books. Nurbasha Sheikh is going to be your opening bowler from the northern end of the ground. This is the theater end. I know that the scorecard says Sankirth Batula. That is not accurate. They'll get that change as soon as they realize that that's the case. Going back to the conversation real quickly about the dimensions. On the far eastern side of the ground is the shorter side. So that is going to be the side that is now going to be toward the pull side, the leg side of Awazia. And this is struck to mid-off, no run. I'm bringing that up because as he hits in the air toward the leg side, in other words, as he plays the way you're looking at it now, toward the right side of the screen, most batters can hit more powerfully on their pull side, on their leg side. And Awazia is bowling to, or is facing from the line that is going to have him, if he plays on the leg side, it will be to the short side of the field. So from that standpoint, you're absolutely going to have to keep that line and that length correct, because if you get too straight, it will be a relatively easy hit to clear the ropes out there on the leg side from this end of the pitch. So keep an eye on that as we go through the rest of this match. And conversely, when the right-hander is on strike from this end, he would be hitting toward the large side of the field. So just something to pay attention to. Very full delivery that time. Driven second time in the over to that man at mid-off, no run. And so Nurbasha Sheikh, as it says there, is your new bowler. Opening bowling, right arm over the wicket. And he's bowling to the left-handed Awazia. So it's going to be interesting to see when he chooses to go big if the possibility presents itself. Here he is again. Wrapped on the pad, umpire Partha Patanaik not interested in the appeal, immediately walking to the side, and there's the signal, leg bias. So for me, that one is drifting down the leg without having seen it live. We'll see the replay shortly, but my initial impression is that that one was going down the leg. Just take a look at this. Oh my goodness, yeah, that pitch is, not only is it going down leg, but it's pitched probably 6 inches outside the line of leg stump. So good umpiring there from Partha Patanaik. So, if you don't know the rules for leg before wicket, there are a number of conditions that have to be satisfied before the umpire thinks that your leg prevented the ball from hitting the stumps. One of the rules is that, oh my goodness, I'll get back to that, because he found the outside edge this time and it goes straight to second slip, or really to Akarsha Gomel. He's a first slip actually, but a big edge off the outside edge and carries straight to slip at a comfortable catching height. The first wicket goes down. Arikanantha unfortunately loses his wicket. Look at this ball. Standing wide, he's at a sort of a second slip, even though he's the only slip in position. But that one carries to him at a regulation height, and he takes that very easily. And that is wicket number 1 that goes down. Arikanantha will be disappointed with that. He did not trouble the scorers today. And the first wicket goes. The score is 5-1. So 5-1 is your score. The new batter is going to be Nitish Kumar. I spoke earlier about the fact that a couple of big names are missing from the Lone Star Athletics side, and it's good that they're such a talented side that they've lost 2 other players, because the captain Smith Patel and the wicketkeeper batter Shayan Jahangir have been called up to national duty. They're now playing in Nepal. Unfortunately for the Lone Star Athletics, they rely very heavily on their top 4, top 5. And they've been a side that in the last several years, if you get through, make inroads into that top 4, then that generally restricts their batting. And they've lost 2 of their top 4 here. So this pair is going to have to stay there for a very long time, I would think. Beautiful delivery. This ball from Nurbasha Sheikh is actually swinging opposite of the way that you'd expect for the right-handed fast bowler to swing it. The typical right-handed fast bowler swings it into the lefties and away from the righties. He is actually opposite Nurbasha Sheikh. When you see that replay again, look at this delivery that is swinging in from outside off stump. and it is dancing inward toward the righties, which can be off-putting if you're expecting the ball to swing the other direction. Appeal for leg before, umpire Partha Patanak not interested. Very enthusiastic appeal, but what a brilliant over. 2 runs come from the over and nothing off the bat. Look at this replay again. Look at this ball swinging in from outside off stump. It is swinging in. It is doing a lot. This is going down leg. Another good decision by umpire Partha Patanak, but that is evidence of excellent swing bowling by Nobasha Sheikh. 2 overs in the books. 5 for 1 is your score.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Starting over number 3, a new bowler. Beautiful delivery going by the outside edge. Attempted cut is not going to be successful. This is Harish Kakani. And once again, your scoreboard is a little inaccurate. Harish Kakani, the bowler coming in to bowl the 3rd over. So 3 different bowlers bowling the 3 overs that have been bowled so far. Harish Kakani, a right arm fast bowler, bowling over the wicket to the lefty. We've spoken about that before, and for me that is a better option. That's too short, and it's powered away into the deep. That's the big side of the ground. Long run by the fielder coming around from mid-wicket, not going to be able to get there. So even though that is the big side of the ground, he pulled it well in front of square Awazia. And not much threat in those types of deliveries. Harish Kakani is not a very fast bowler. He does better when he pitches the ball up. It's too short. And it's powered away into the deep. That's the big side of the ground. Long run by the fielder coming. Fielder sprinting around from deep square leg. And the first boundary of the day is what you just saw. So good start here. A bit of a fight back, and Awazia is the only batter so far who's had runs off the bat. Gets another single here. And so from where you are now, you certainly want to make sure, as the Lone Star Athletics plan the rest of their innings, that you don't lose any more wickets just yet. You want to make sure that you stay there long enough to impact things positively. Again, you're missing 2 of your best bats in the top of the order, and so it's going to be incumbent on the remaining bats to absolutely take things deep. You want this pair probably to bat at least 5 or 6 more overs together, and then allow the ones who come in after them to play with a little bit more freedom. So we'll see how that develops the rest of the way. This is now going to be Nitish Kumar. Lovely shot. That would have been 4 runs all day long had that not been stopped by Harish Kakani. He does very well fielding to his own bowling there. Solid front foot punch by Nitish Kumar. Plays that shot very well generally. Speaking of punching off the front foot, if you all were watching from right here in this stadium earlier this summer in the World Cup, Nitish Kumar took the last ball of the regulation and went over the top of mid-off for the boundary that sent the game against Pakistan to super over, which the U.S. won in dramatic fashion. Clipped away to deep mid-wicket. A lot of work. It's to the short side of the ground. A long sliding stop there, and he does well enough. He saves 2. In fact, he saves 1 because they'll come back for 3. Good, solid shot there by Nitish Kumar. And speaking of Kumars, Mr. Saki Mohammed, the great Saki Mohammed, who you all know, one of the pioneers in cricket in this country, and who is the man behind the magic at Musa Cricket Stadium, about 280 miles away from where we are right now. He reminds me that you, the Lone Star Athletics, have also lost Milind Kumar. So missing a lot of talent. Oh, it's a good stop in the backward point area. That would have gone away for a few more runs. They'll get a single here, but that's the last ball in over number 3. Productive one. 9 runs come from it, the best over of the inning so far. We'll get back to what Saki brought up in just a second. End of 3, 14 for 1.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Shubham Ranjane is now switching ends and bowling from the theater end. As I started saying, I was corrected by Mr. Saki Mohammed. Not only did you lose Shahan Jahangir and the captain Smith Patel, but Milind Kumar, tremendous all-rounder, major league player who is in the middle order in this side, is no longer there, at least not for right now. He's on national duty. Short delivery, pulled away onto the leg side. Should just be a single here. And then Saki Mohammed also reminds me that Nitish Kumar is only here temporarily because he'll also be called up for national duty when the series switch. They're playing ODIs right now in Nepal. When they start playing T20s, Nitish Kumar is in the T20 side. So essentially, the Lone Star Athletics are losing talent, and it's a testament to how talented they are that they keep losing talent to the national side. So it does nothing for you on the field. It makes you lose talent, but it's a testament to how talented a side it is. What a great ball. Drawing Nitish Kumar into the false shot there. So a couple of good balls here from Shubham Ranjane, who's bowled very well so far. 1.2 over, has conceded 4 runs. And overall, the scoring rate is a little bit sluggish, 4.29. 4.29 translates to 86 in terms of a projection. You want probably 50 runs more than that. Here's Shubham Ranjane again. Slapped away, backward point, actually really short third. Traveling very quickly, but the man right in position to feel that, so no run there, and that pressure keeps building. You've now gotten to the point where you're starting to think, okay, we're falling behind a little bit here. The run rate is only 4.09, and this pair, again, not only do they have to I have people correcting me all over the place. Thank you very much, Mr. Athanaki. I said Nepal earlier, I meant Namibia. My apologies. That is slapped away for 4. Outside edge found. Probably not exactly where Nitish Kumar wanted to play that, but it goes fine of that fielder, short third, and goes away for 4. Look at this delivery. Looking to play the cut shot. To me, he's probably looking to cut this much squarer, and it genuinely comes off the outside edge. The ball very, very wide also, and he advanced down the track a little bit, so not hitting it exactly where he wanted to, but 4 runs nonetheless, and those 4 runs will be very, very helpful. So again, my apologies. I said Nepal a number of times. In fact, I probably said it last week also. The players are actually in Namibia. More confident shot this time, but straight to point. No run there. 5 runs coming from over number 4. The end of 4, the score is 19 for 1. Captain Chaitanya or Akarsha Gomel being very experimenting a lot with his bowlers, moving them around a lot, having them come from different directions. This is Nurbasha Sheikh, who's bowling again. He bowled over number 2, switching around now, bowling over number 5. Over number 2 came from the theater end. Over 5 in progress is now coming from the river end, the southern end of the ground. Your batters are maybe not quite having the best time of it that they'd like. This is very wide, my goodness. Remember, he's bowling outswing to the left-hander, so you expect it to be swinging in that direction, but that one swung even more than he was thinking, or perhaps it started on the wrong line. So if you're going to be swinging it that tremendously, you're going to want it to start much straighter. You're probably wanting to start it on leg stump or middle stump. Start it on that line and it swings away. That's when it threatens the outside edge. That's when it might bring Captain Akashi Gomel, top right of your screen, into play. What a lovely shot. This one is all the way for 6. Absolutely brilliant stroke by Wazia, going up and over the top. And importantly, this is swinging away from him. Look at this. He's playing with the swing. So he hammers that ball in the air over long off. If he tries to hit that straight or tries to hit it down, maybe pulling it on the leg side toward the left of your screen, that probably goes straight up in the air. But this is played with the swing. Absolutely brilliant shot for 6. Wide again. So just wanting to make sure that he finds the right line. But if you have a batter who's able to play with the swing the way that Owazir just did, then it becomes incumbent on you as a bowler to land the ball in the right areas. And if that ball is not going to be landing in the right area, if it's going to be too short or too full, then you can get punished. Oh, look at that. He makes the adjustment. He did land that one in the right area. The Zing Bales light up in the night. The second wicket is down. Nurbasha Sheikh has his revenge. That is the end of a Wazia, 14 from 16. Look at this delivery. Oh, looking for the big drive again. This time he plays outside of the line. Maybe it doesn't quite swing as much as he'd expect it to. Comes off the inside edge and knocks back off stump. So that is a big wicket. Partnership was showing some promise. It was worth 22 runs, but that is the end of it. And he's having to take the long walk back. Look at this delivery, slanting across. And there you'll see that Owazia plays just outside of the line, expecting it to swing a little bit more than it actually did. So that ball kisses the inside edge back onto off stump. That is the end of Owazia. He did well, looked okay, 14 from 15, looked like he was starting to get through the into the comfortable part of his innings, but unfortunately for him, he loses his off stump courtesy of an inside edge. And again, the man Nurbasha Sheikh has his revenge. So you know, 27 for 2 with 3 balls gone inside over number 5. And things essentially have gotten to the point now where you might start thinking that this new pair that is now together is going to have to bat much deeper. And the fact that they're going to have to bat deeper means that they can't quite play with the freedom that they'd like to be able to play with. 3 balls remaining here in over number 5. New batter, Mohamed Osman. Going down the leg side. So just wanting to make sure he finds that line the way that he wants it. So that's the 3rd wide in this over. He wants to fix that definitely, because you've gotten to the point where you've gotten a wicket. Sometimes that fires you up and you're full of adrenaline, and you may sometimes just lose your disciplines just a little bit. So you're wanting to make sure that you fix that. Still 3 balls remaining here in over number 5. Finds the outside edge. Oh, that's a fumble. And I'll tell you what, had that been a clean pickup, a shy at the striker's end would have been interesting. And my initial impression is that that may just have found Nitish Kumar short had that been a clean pickup and a direct hit. And 2 batters having a quick chat about that in the middle there, because you don't want to lose any more wickets at this stage, and you absolutely don't want to lose any more via run out. And all, maybe not all, but plenty is on the shoulders of Nitish Kumar now. He is the international player who is on the field, at least with the bat in hand. Interestingly, if you don't know Nitish Kumar's history, he's one of a handful of men to have ever represented 2 different countries at the highest level of cricket. international level. Represented Canada as a very young man for a number of years, but now represents the US. This is a better line, and it's a length that sort of asks the hard questions. He's not necessarily a quick bowler here in Abashashik, but that length was typical of a bowler who generally hits the deck hard and has that ball jagging into your ribs. So Nitish Kumar treating it with respect. My sense is that if he gets a similar delivery again, he may want to play a more aggressive shot. Last ball. Over the top, doesn't quite go where he was looking to play that. I think he was trying to go over extra cover. Goes into that deep backward point area for a single. Successful over, 11 runs came from it, but you'll exchange 11 runs for 1 wicket every time if you offer the chance. End of over number 5, the score is 30 for 2. $30 for 2. Of course, we're with you all season. You can find us on all of your social media channels, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook. Just search for @MIL_Cricket. Matter of fact, if you happen to want to communicate in any way with me tonight, I'm here communicating by myself. So if you wanted to drop a line regarding anything that would like to be talked about, I'm more than happy to take your comments on the air. New bowler, this is going to be Sanketh Batula, who is the man who usually opens the bowling. Coming in 4th change today, believe it or not. Actually, 3rd change. Starts out with a wide here. Just wanting to make sure that he finds the right line. Sanketh Batula is the stereotypical fast bowler. Tall, good high action. And when he gets it right, he can be a handful. Picked up a bunch of wickets in last weekend's action. Maybe a little bit later we'll go into some of the games that the Xforia Giants have played, and we'll see exactly how they did. My sense is that you'll see that this pair has absolutely done very, very well. And Sanketh Batula in particular has played the role of strike bowler very effectively. Coming in as his first change here. So with regard to Sanketh Batula, when he played against the Hurricanes a couple of weeks ago, 4 overs, 2 for 25 with an economy rate of 6.25, and he opened the bowling in that game. So he's the kind of bowler who can be very restrictive from the standpoint of not giving away very many runs, and then he can absolutely take wickets for you, which is what you like to have. So four delivers remaining here in the power play. This is over number 6. Quick single taken to mid-on. That's not much trouble here. And so this pair has some rebuilding to do. Nitish Kumar 9 from 12. I think that you'll see with his new partner, Mohammed Usman, you still have the right-hand, left-hand combination. So from that standpoint, it is to your advantage because you put the onus on the bowlers to try to switch lines. Oh, big swipe and a miss. Ball was full enough to be there for the drive. My sense is that it tailed away just a touch away from the big drive from Nitish Kumar. So you're now to the point, only 3, make that 2 delivers remaining inside the power play. After this, then you can choose to be a lot more defensive. You can have as many as 5 fielders outside of that 30-yard circle. Now 2 balls remaining here in over number 6. Appeal for a catch, gone, my goodness. This is a big wicket. Good low catch taken from Arjun Mahesh, and I think I want to see the replay on that because this to me looked live like it was tailing down and just going past the outside edge. Let's see what happens here. Look at that beautiful delivery. That is a dream ball from Sanketh Batula. I talked about the fact that he's not only restrictive in terms of his economy rates, but that type of delivery, curling away, kissing the outside edge, particularly since it's slanted in from outside the line of off stump. At that angle, you have to play because that's going on to threaten the stumps. And then he curls away just beautifully at the last second, finds the outside edge, and a good low catch. Look at that again. Absolutely brilliant. From that angle, you have to play. You cannot leave that ball alone. You can't leave it on length. You also can't leave it on line. And that ball kisses the outside edge after curling away just beautifully. That is absolutely a brilliant piece of bowling from Sankirth Batula. And now the Lone Star Athletics are in a lot of trouble because they've lost 3 top order wickets inside the power play. Talked about the fact that they've lost a lot of talent. Milind Kumar, Shayan Jahangir, and Smith Patel, none of whom will be featuring in that top order. So usually replacing those is a handful, and the ones that you have to replace them have to be able to bat all the way through. Have not been able to do it so far. And this is now going to be up to the new batter, who's Shatrughn Rambaran, who is absolutely up against it here. 3 wickets inside the power play and 1 ball to go inside the power play. And so with 33 runs on the board, Sankirth Batula looking to see if he can continue to make inroads here. Great ball, goes past the outside edge. What an over. 3 runs coming from it and the wicket. Remember, it started with a wide ball, so just 2 runs off the bat and a brilliant first over from Sankirth Batula. End of the power play. The score is 33 for 3.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Over number 7 about to start. We'll look at the field after this delivery from Nobasha Sheikh. Played into that deep square leg area for a single. You're out of the power play now, so you can, in theory, have as many as 5 fielders outside the circle. But I like the fact that Akashik Gomel has stayed on the attack. Only 3 outside the circle right now. You have, in fact, 4 now outside the circle, so you can have up to 1 more outside. But he's choosing to stay slightly aggressive. There's a deep point for the righty. There's a deep third. There's a deep fine leg and a deep mid wicket. And it is now going to be up to Rembrandt to see how he can take things from here. Quick single, and under these circumstances, what you need to be able to do is just see how you can pick up singles. Singles alone would essentially put you back in the position where you're trying to sort of pull things back. Try to generate some sort of momentum. And the way that you generate momentum is first starting with a few singles and then seeing how many different ways that you can sort of coordinate things to push on from there. Slash and a miss. Halfway through over number 7. This is Nobasha Sheikh's 3rd over. He has taken 2 wickets, conceded 14 runs. And so I think that you'll absolutely see that they'll be very happy with their decision right now, the Xforia Giants, to bowl first. Doing really well so far. Oh, appeal, long appeal. Umpire Samir Bandekar is not interested. And I like the fact that the players respect umpire Samir Bandekar so much, very respected umpire, that he immediately puts both palms down. In other words, okay, I've seen enough. I don't need to hear any more appealing. Look at this replay. Oh my goodness, yeah. Remember, he's an outswing bowler. That ball is pitching probably a foot outside the line of leg stump, from what I said earlier. From that angle, with a right-hander bowling over the wicket, bowling outswingers to a left-hander. Almost by definition, there's nothing about that that can constitute a good appeal. Look at this again. This ball is coming, he's bowling over the wicket. Maybe if he's bowling around the wicket, this can be a legitimate appeal, but he's bowling over the wicket. Almost no way that you can get that ball to pitch in line with the stumps and not be completely missing off stump. And if it's hitting the stumps, then it's absolutely pitching probably a foot outside leg stump like that one was. Once again, if it pitches outside the line of leg stump, you cannot be a judge at LBW. Played into the offside. Mohamed Usman now up to 7, make that up to 4 from 7 balls faced. Last ball over number 7 coming up. In fact, that is the last ball. So, good over, productive one. The score after 7 is 36 for 3.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Over number 8 is about to start. Sanketh Batula about to bowl his second over. Great ball, goes past the outside edge. That angle that we've talked about that is created when the right-hander goes over the wicket to the left-handed batter. Slanting across him, beautiful delivery. So this pair is starting out very slowly. They came together from the 3rd, make that the 5th ball in over number 6. You're now into over number 8. So you've been there for about 7 deliveries together. Outside edge found. Long run by Chaitanya Bishnoi. A deep 3rd. Should just be a single. So the partnership is now worth 4. Partnership of 4. Overall scoring rate is 5.05. 5.05 projects to a score of 101. I dare say under essentially brilliant batting conditions that you'll need, I said earlier you needed 50 more than 86. I would think 130, 135 at minimum is what you'd want to be aiming at here. Big slash and a miss, and it is a wide signal by umpire Partha Patanaik. Not many wides necessarily, but you've had a few leg buys, so 9 extras total. Interestingly, 9 extras out of 38 runs, which means that you've had almost 24% of your runs come in extras. Not necessarily going to be the best way to keep the opposition quiet. You want to keep turning those screws, so you have to be much more accurate than that. That's the ball that you're trying to bowl. It goes right past the outside edge. Sanketh Batula making the ball talk from that angle. Again, he's bowling over the wicket and he's slanting it into the right-handed batters. But then it is pitching and moving away. Look at this again. From the angle, slightly wide of the crease. And it's angled in and then pitching and straightening. Absolutely unplayable. Perfect length, perfect line. Down the leg side, and jinxed him, unfortunately, Sanketh. I'm sorry. But for me, that stock ball that he's bowled a number of times now that is slanting in from over the wicket, and that is pitching and straightening. That is the one that got the big wicket of Nitish Kumar. And so far, you've seen a couple of deliveries where the batters, the right-handed batters in particular, have played and missed. And Shatrughan Rambran is finding it hard here. Better played into the offside. Oh, direct hit there could have been interesting. We'll get a single. 2 balls remaining here in over number 8. So you've gotten to the point now. 40 runs are on the board. Overall run rate 5.2. I don't know that a score that is in anything lower than 120 would be much of a challenge for the Xforia Giants. They bat relatively well, and even though they've lost Harmeet Singh, their captain, to national duty, they still bat about 6 or 7 deep. And I think if you're going to challenge them, you're going to have to put a score together that is more than what is projected right now. As of right now, with that wide, the projected score is still only going to be around 105, and you're going to need more than that, I would believe. So, believe it or not, the high score in the inning so far, I'll get to that after this, played into the leg side. They may get 2 here. No, thought about it for a split second, but decided against it. The high score in the innings is Oizia with 14. The second highest score is Extras with 11. Scorecard, you see that Oizia at the very top is the only one who's gotten into double figures already. 14 from 16. Ari Kananta did not trouble the scorers. Nitish Kumar, Muhammad Usman, and Shatrughran Rambaran all single digits. 2 of the last 3 are there at the wicket still. No single there. Good over again from Sankir's Batula. Just 6 runs coming from it. 3 of those are wides though, so he's going to have to fix that. End of 8, score is 42 for 3. Harish Kakani back into the attack. His second over. Goes past the outside edge once again. That is Muhammad Usman and Shatrughran Rambaran, who are at the wickets. Looking very quizzically at the umpire that time. Rambaran wanting to coax umpire Samir Bandaker into giving him a wide. That's not going to happen. Good delivery. Couple of dot balls to start over number 9. And you're really now at the point where you're starting to think about what is the rest of this innings going to look like, and what do we do to change the conversation. Maybe we've taken a few overs to get settled, make sure that no more wickets fall. But it is now time to start thinking about how are we going to put together a total that will allow us to challenge and threaten and pose a threat to the batting order of the Xforia Giants. Play it down to deep third. That is Sankir's Batula. So you have a single there. So the partnership now sluggishly moving into double figures. It's now worth 10. But more to the point, you're down to the last 69 balls of the innings. So in other words, you have 11 overs and 3 balls remaining. You're into the 9th over. And at this stage of the innings, 43 probably is a decent score for power play. 43, having lost 3 wickets, would be probably more slightly to the bowler's side in terms of advantage inside the power play. But you're in over number 9, so you're falling behind here. Great ball, appeal and gone. That is a brilliant, brilliant delivery. And if they were in trouble before, they're absolutely up against it now. Going past the outside edge, in fact, not past the edge, kissing the edge. Pretty straightforward catch. Arjun Mahesh is not going to drop that. It's a typical delivery again that you've seen, slanting in and kissing the outside edge after it moves away a little bit straightened. So that is the end of the partnership. Shatrughran Rambaran edges behind to Harish Kakani. That is wicket number 4, ladies and gentlemen. And all sorts of trouble here for the Lone Star Athletics. 43 for 4 is your score. 4-3 for 4. The Lone Star Athletics are absolutely up against it here. The Dallas Xforia Giants are all over them. And the new man coming to the crease is going to be Aryan Satish, young 18-year-old from Houston. And he's in a really tricky position here. Going down the leg side, appeal for a catch. Umpire Samir Bandaker, I think, indicating that that may have just come off of the pad. Certainly not given as wide, so it certainly flicked something. Look at this replay. Let's see where this ball came. Yeah, I think that would have just flicked off of that front pad. And you can tell, again, the little things that you can pick up, the respect that these players have for the umpires, in particular Samir Bandaker. This is played to mid-on, no run. One run comes from the over and a wicket is taken. Brilliant bowling by Harish Kakani. That is the end of over number 9. The score is 4-3 for 4.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Four to 3 for 4 after 9. Lone Star Athletics really in a hole here, and it is going to be now a new bowler coming from the theater end. This is going to be Abhinav Chowdhury, and it is an all-pace attack so far. We've not seen any spin. Primary spinner on this side would have been the captain himself, Harmeet Singh, but he's not here. But Chaitanya Bishnoi is an excellent spinner. Has not looked to bowl any spinners yet. The captain, Akarshik Gomel. And a single from the first ball of over number 10. Big wind up and a stroke right back to the stumps. So he'll get a single probably. The stumps became an extra fielder there. So 2 balls and 2 singles. As I said earlier, if you're looking to try to get back into this game, one of the best ways of doing that is to try to get as many singles as you can. Look at this delivery, slapped straight down. I'll tell you what, it was nowhere near the hand of the bowler, but the non-striker was well down the pitch, Mohamed Usman, so he might consider whether or not he'll want to stay in his crease and wait until the ball passes the batter. A little bit wide that time, so that is wide number, or extra number 12. 46 runs on the board and 12 of them are extras. Okay, look at this again. Oh my goodness, I tell you what, that is an excellent piece of camera work, because that ball started wide, went wider, and the batter was actually asking whether or not that would have pitched off of the square. Had it pitched off of the square, then it would have been a no ball. Maybe we can take a look at that again. See where that ball starts out. It starts out very wide, and then it swings away even further. And look at this, because we talked about the... Look where that ball lands. So it lands probably 9 inches inside that dark green area. If it goes to the right and lands outside of that dark green area, that would have been pitching entirely off the pitch. Under those circumstances, by definition, it would have been a no ball. So batter wanting to beg for a no ball there, but not given. Go through for a single here. I think this might have come off the base of the bat. So no indication from umpire Partha Patanaik. So yes, that did come off the bat. That's interesting, because you don't see that very often, a ball that is so wide that it pitches entirely off the pitch. But that is yet another way that you can have a no ball. A number of different no balls. For those who are not familiar, a ball that lands off of the pitch entirely. There you see on the replay. So there, I think that just might have kissed off the inside edge and gone onto the toe of the batter. So certainly nothing there. Slammed away into the deep. That is the first time that you've seen an aggressive shot like that for a really long time. Positive stroke that goes away for 4. That brings up the 50. So all is not lost yet. You still have 6 wickets to go. Some big wickets have already fallen, but this pair might start thinking about how they can go about manufacturing some runs here. Good looking shot from Aryan Satish. It was in the slot in terms of its length. The line was a little wide, and he was able to play that just to the left of the fielder in the covers. So last ball coming up for over number 10. Great ball, much better length, much better line. Ask a question or two. Aryan Satish might consider himself lucky he didn't get a touch there. End of 10, halfway through the innings, 51 for 4.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Harsh Kakani back into the attack. This is powered away. Long run for the fielder coming from mid-wicket. He won't get there. So 2 of the last 3 deliveries bowled in this innings have gone for a 4. You absolutely want to keep that going. Mohammad Usman has been there for 17 deliveries now, and he's been there long enough, and you're starting to run out of deliveries down to the last 59 balls in this innings, that you may start thinking, how do we push on from here? How do we challenge? How do we put something on the board that will essentially give our bowlers something to defend? Next delivery, very full. That goes off the outside edge, very fine, and it goes away for 4 more. Didn't quite mean it there, Mohammad Usman, but he'll take the runs, definitely take those runs. Now up to 16 from 18 balls with 2 4s. The last 2 balls that he's faced have both gone away for 4. Very fine outside edge. Had there been a slip fielder, probably would not have been a catch, but certainly would have been positioned to stop it. The deep third was relatively wide. They now make the change. The man at third is now much finer. And here is the delivery now for Harsh Kakani. Quick single taken here. So a positive start to the over. 9 from the first 3 balls. This is exactly what you want to see from this pair. Partnership now up to 17. The partnership is now the 2nd largest partnership in the innings so far. First wicket partnership was 5. Second wicket partnership 22. Third wicket partnership 6. Fourth wicket partnership 10. So nothing to write home about there. But this pair, 17 and counting. Harsh Kakani now into his 3rd over. Played very well at time by Aryan Satish. Straight into the covers, no run. Confident looking stroke. So you like seeing that from the young man. Aryan Satish in the playing 11. His older brother, Shreyan Satish, is also on the same side. He's wearing the orange vest today, meaning that he's not in the playing 11. And we're looking to see now, there's the partnership 17 from 12 balls. Looking to see how they can build from here. Good looking shot, in fact, well defended. I said it was a good looking shot from my angle. I was a little bit unsighted in terms of where the ball was going, but important for Aryan Satish. He's kept the last 2 out. He's already had 9 runs from the over, so the overall scoring rate is 5.5. So you've already had a good over so far. What you want to do from here is just make sure that you can keep on pushing forward. We just want to make sure that the scoreboard keeps moving. Last ball of over number 11. And that is a dot ball that closes things out. 9 from the first 3 dot balls to close out. End of 11, 60 for 4. So Abhinav Chowdhury to continue. This all pace attack so far. Has not chosen to use any spin yet. Captain Karshik Gomel. The dot ball starts things out here. Abhinav Chowdhury's first over went for 7 and nothing yet from his second over, but I think you'll see that there's a lot of activity, and you'll see Abhinav Chowdhury. I have to check that scorecard because it says that he's bowled over number 10. Oh, good ball going by the outside edge. So yes, my apologies. Abhinav Chowdhury bowled over 10. He's now bowling over number 12, so that is his second over. 2 good deliveries here to start, 2 dot balls. I think that you'll see that pressure continue to build. Scoring rate now down to 5.29. Spoken about projection so far. As of right now, the projection is 106. And what can you do to get something energized? Good looking shot into the offside. We'll get a single here. For me, looking at what your resources are, bowlers have been excellent so far. Shubham Ranjan still has 2 overs. Sanket Batula has been really good. He still has 2 overs left. 1 each for Nubasha Sheikh and Harish Kakane. So if you're wanting to think about where you're going to get your runs from, you would think that Shubham Ranjane is going to be a hard bowler to attack. Economy rate of 4 tells that story. So you might start thinking Abhinav Chowdhury may be the one that you have to try to go after here, because the other bowlers have been all very excellent. Down the ground, catchable. Simplest of catches, another wicket. Sankirth Batula not only good with the ball, but in the field. And if you were thinking of taking my advice and attacking Abhinav Chowdhury, then you may have just lost out here. Lofted down the ground, Aryan Satish, not really no room to play that shot. It was more sort of a flick, and right there in the background. I want to see that again, because if you see right there in the background, after that catch was taken, look at the catch taken here in the deep. Elevated down the ground, and the catch taken, and right there in the background, that is Shreyan Satish, Aryan Satish's brother. See that shake of the head tells the entire story. He wanted his little brother to bat a little bit longer, wanted him to not perhaps play that specific shot. You don't mind the idea of accelerating. You certainly need to accelerate, but that shot really wasn't the type of shot that would induce what I would refer to as a productive result. And so the 5th wicket falls with the score on 60. You've gotten now to the point where, as I said earlier, much of the talent is not available, and it's going to be up to you all to bat deep. Sidesh Patara, the captain, is now in, and he's now taking guard, batting alongside Mohammed Usman. Does it all now depend on Mohammed Usman, at least until Sidesh Patara gets warmed up? Mohammed Usman, 18 from 22 with 2 boundaries, so he's been out there long enough to be able to see how the ball is coming onto the bat, being able to judge where the runs can come from. So does it all go on him now to go on the attack from here? I said 60 earlier, my apologies. 61 is the score. Down the leg side, and half-hearted appeal, but umpire Partha Patanaik immediately signaling that that was a wide. Looking at this replay now, the ball drifting down the leg side. Yeah, think just for a split second Abhinav Chowdhury wanted to attempt to trick umpire Partha Patanaik. He's not an umpire who can easily be tricked. Very experienced. Both umpires in this match really of the highest quality. Played to mid-on, no run there. All of a sudden, you're now at the point where the scoring rate 5.24. You see that at the bottom center of your screen in the red graphic. That projects to a score, ladies and gentlemen, of 105. 105 on a really good batting wicket. I don't know that that will test the Dallas Xforia Giants very much. Last ball. Played off the back foot, backward point. That is a dot that closes things out. 2 runs come from the over and the wicket. So excellent going. All of the bowlers have done very well. Abhinav Chowdhury's second over is complete. He has 2 overs, 1 for 9. Harish Kakan had 3 overs, 1 for 19. The score is 62 for 5. So Nubasha Sheikh has bowled 3 really good overs, coming back here to close out. Played off the back foot here. Mohammad Usman gets that one down to deep third for a single. So 63 runs on the board. You're halfway through the, more than halfway through the innings. And I think that what you'll see. I will refrain from saying repeating what I just heard. Let's just say that it's good to have the fans, several of whom are just regular fans, and several of whom have, let's just say, hold higher positions in cricket in this league. Played down the ground. That might run away for 4. Long run. In fact, Chetene Bishnal gives up the chase. It was a full toss, a low full toss, and played right down the ground for 4. So good looking shot. You don't mind seeing that. So what I started saying, at the end of over number 12, the score was 62 for 5. 62 for 5. As you see that replay, the ball punched straight down the ground. 62 for 5. I've already said a number of times, if you've listened to me before, that doubling the score after 12 overs gives you roughly where you'll get to in terms of the overall score. Whoa, look at that. Okay, so the one thing that I did say, if you double the score after 12, it generally puts you in the range of where you'll be. But that does not accommodate for your team getting bowled out. And the captain here plays a bit of a maybe cramped for room, trying to force that one away. Not necessarily the most elegant of shots. Look at this. Maybe a little too close to be playing a cut shot. And unfortunately for him, Sidesh Patari, he chops this one onto his leg stump. So projections may have to take a back seat to the question of whether or not they're going to get bowled out, because this is now becoming a very tricky situation for the Lone Star Athletics. 6 wickets down, you only have 67 runs on the board. And now you would have to think it has to be all on Mohammad Usman from here. A new batter coming to the wicket. It is Karan Patel. Karan Patel, one of the more unique players in all of cricket. I'll tell you what I mean by that in just a minute. 67 for 5. 2 delivers into over number 13. Now, as far as Karan Patel is concerned, he is a professional baseball player. So injured a couple of months ago, I believe. So at some point he'll get back to playing professional baseball in the Chicago White Sox organization. But until then, he is trying his hand at his first love, cricket. Karan Patel, whose father is Kuldeep Patel, is the owner of the Lone Star Athletics. And I think that you've seen where his pedigree, Kuldeep Patel, very excellent cricketer in his own right, played for the U.S. for a number of years, played here in the Houston, well, not here, played in the Houston area for a long time. And so the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Played off the back foot here, down to deep third. Immediately off the mark is Karan Patel. So, A long way to go here, but the question now becomes, do you get to the point where you bat all the way through the innings? Because if you are already down to probably the last recognized pair, with nothing but bowlers after this, and with 2 balls remaining here in over number 4, you saw that indicated there by Samir Bandekar, the umpire, you get to the point of thinking, okay, maybe we can't start thinking about accelerating. Maybe we just need to start thinking about batting through the innings. 2 delivers left in Nobasha Sheikh's spell. Outside or off the outside edge. Goes down to deep third. What an absolutely brilliant spell for this outswing bowler, or the swing bowler. He bowls outswing to the left-handers. He's already taken 3 wickets, 3 for 22. Last ball coming up here in over number 13. This is his last. So you would think that the remaining bowlers, at what point do you consider maybe going fully on the attack and making sure that you get to the point where you get through the side? Maybe you don't wait till the very last 2 or 3 overs to bring your best bowlers back on. Anyway, that's the decision for Akarshi Gomel to make. End of over number 13, 69 for 6.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Into over number 14 now. It's going to be Abhinav Chowdhury. 1 for 9 from his 2 overs and 1 ball. Abhinav Chowdhury bowled overs 10 and 12, now bowling over number 14. So it looks like he's going to be the middle of the overs type of, or middle of the innings type of bowler. Harish Kakan has 1 left, Shubham Ranjan has 2 left. You'd think that those 2 would bowl 18, 19, and 20. And we'll see how the rest of the innings goes. This is played to backward point for a single. So a couple of deliveries into over number 14. When you start thinking about how you're going to construct the rest of the innings. Abhinav Chowdhury bowling over number 14. So you would think he'd bowl number 16. Sankir Batula has 2 left, so potentially he'd bowl 15 and 17. Harish Kakani 1 left, he'd bowl 18. Let's just say you have options. So there's going to be some combination of those bowlers to bowl the rest of the way. And you're now down to the last 40 balls of the innings. And now you're absolutely thinking about, how do I put together a score that can be challenged, or that we challenge. This is a lovely shot, driven away through the offside. Karan Patel, he's a baseball player, but that was a perfect cricket shot, drilled away through the offside, just to the left of the fielder at extra cover, and racing across the ground for 4. By the way, Karan Patel, when he plays baseball, he's a pitcher. So if you've never seen a cricketer who can throw the ball from one end of the boundary literally to the other end. In other words, he can throw from long on and find long on the opposite side. He is has an absolute gun for an arm. That's something to see when he comes into the field. Work to do before then, though. Stroked over the top, man at cover, not quite able to get to it. They'll come back for a second. Yes, there is a second run. So the previous delivery was struck away beautifully for 4 all along the ground. This one is in the air and just to the left of the fielder at cover here, in the air just to his left. Can't quite get to it. Potentially could have been a catch, but Karan Patel placed it well enough that it wasn't catchable. So Mohammad Usman, 21 from 26, watching from the other end as Karan Patel starts to express himself here. 7 from 4 with 1 boundary. Next delivery, shortish, played into the cover as they run for a single. Whoa, quick throw, shy the non-striker's end, not in time. Last ball coming up here in over number 14. So some momentum being generated here by the Lone Star Athletics. That's what you want to see. 8 runs came from this over, 7 runs from the over before that. So a little bit of generation of momentum. The projected score is now up to 1-1-1. Here's a replay again. Play it into the offside. Quick single, quick pickup and a throw. Ashruham Ranjani. Oh, I'll tell you what, that would have been close. Umpire Partha Patanak taking evasive action. All's well that ends well. Played off the back foot here. No run. That's a good over. That comes to an end. A better over for the Lone Star Athletics than they've had for a while. 8 runs come from it. End of over number 14. The score is 77 for 6. Look at that replay again. I don't know that Karan Patel's bat is on the ground or in the air. And even if it's on the ground there, if that hits, that may well be out. So he might consider himself lucky. But again, it's the stage of the innings where you need to start doing something to change the equation. And there you see the throw coming in again. Yeah, that bat that's short. That would have been short. But again, you take chances at this stage because you need runs as many as you can. End of 14, 77 for 6. So I mentioned it a couple of overs ago. Chaitanya Bishnoi, who is an excellent orthodox left-arm spinner, but has not bowled in the last couple of matches that we've covered. So he is now bowling for the first time. So the first time we'll have something other than a pace bowler bowling. Left-arm orthodox, looking to turn the ball away from Karan Patel. Let's see what he does here. Ooh, short. Pulled away into the short side of the ground, and it goes. Ooh, sliding stop in the deep. That's a good piece of work. And that's just 1 run. Excellent work in the deep. And now Chaitanya Bishnoi bowling over the wicket to the lefty and around the wicket to the righty. That's not surprising. So to the lefty, he will be bowling and turning the ball into Mohammed Usman. However, what's important there is that if he bowls from here, he's hitting the ball with the turn into the big side of the field, and there are fielders out there to dissuade that exact shot. So maybe you want him to be playing in that direction given the size of the field in that direction. Quick throw coming back to the non-striker's end. They'll get a couple of runs. So good aggressive running. Chaitanya Bishnoi bowling over number 15 here. So he's a brilliant bowler, brilliant all-rounder. I think that you'll see when he comes to bat. Probably opens the batting. So compact, times the ball well, doesn't try to overhit it. Really good with the bat. But with the ball, he's a very nagging, orthodox left-arm spinner. Do they look for 2 more here? No. This time they settle for 1. So you've seen a couple of deliveries here to the righty. Make that to the lefty, and then 1 to the righty. 4 runs from the over so far. You've now gotten to the point where you're trying to build something toward the back end. 4 runs come from the first 3 balls of this over number 15. And look at Karan Patel here. No run. Oh, actually you do get a run there. A little bit of a fumble. First Chaitanya Bishnoi, and then the captain himself, Akarshit Gomel, not able to corral that one. Look at this replay. Played off the back foot. There, Chaitanya Bishnoi misses, and then a bit of a fumble that time by Akarshit Gomel. Five from the over, last 2 to come. In the air, lovely shot, absolutely lovely shot. So I said earlier, you'd want Chaitanya Bishnoi to be inducing Mohammed Usman to be playing on the leg side, because that's the big side of the ground. That's where you want him to play, and that's where you have 2 fielders in the deep ready for that big shot. But this ball is well too wide. It's outside the line of off. And it's played easily way over the top of extra cover for his first boundary. His third boundary. He's now up to 28 from 30 with 3 fours. Chaitanya Bishnor's first boundary conceded is what I was trying to say. It goes around the wicket to cut the angle down. You like that change. And that's helped into the deep mid-wicket area. Another productive over. So maybe you're starting to build some momentum here. 10 from this over. 8 came from over number 14. 7 came from over number 13. So you're building something here toward the back end of the innings. That is the end of 15. The score is 87 for 6.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
'87 for 6. Mohammad Usman 29 from 31 with 3 fours. Karan Patel 10 from 7 with 1 4. And all of a sudden, I don't know that you have a huge change in momentum, but there seems to be some urgency to get through the remaining 5 overs, inflicting as much damage as possible. And maybe Captain Akashi Gomel senses that because he's brought back Sankirth Batula here. He has 2 overs left. Sankirth Batula, his figures so far, 1 for 9 from his 2 overs, and he'll be bowling to the left-handed Mohammad Usman. Advancing down the track, doesn't quite get it out of the middle, can't get it past mid-on. But this, to me, means intent. And this is where you see that Mohammad Usman, who's been there the longest, 29 from 31 before the over started, so he's now into his 30s. 30 from 32 with 3 fours. So you would think that it would be up to him to take the bull by the horns and essentially try to go hard the rest of the way. Karan Patel now facing up to Sankirth Batula. Very full, punch to long on. They'll just jog for a single here. So a couple singles to start. You don't mind picking up singles at this stage of the over, but at some point, if you want to start thinking about what we can get in terms of a target, maybe in the next over and a half, you keep it in 3rd gear, 4th gear, but then you start pushing on toward the back end because you've done well to consolidate things so far. This partnership now worth 29. Make that 30 from that single. And you've now built something with 3 singles here. The partnership is now 30. You've gotten to the point where you are facing, or you're in the middle of the biggest partnership of the innings. So do you tell yourself, hey, look, let's try to capitalize on something going towards the back end. We're clearly doing well enough here that we can put something together toward the back end of this innings. Here's the next delivery from Sankirth Batula. Short, helped around the corner for 4. Short and on his hips. Did not try to overhit that one, Karan Patel. Just swivel pull, if you will, just helping it. And it goes all the way to deep fine leg for boundary. The second boundary struck by Karan Patel. Look at the replay. Does not overhit it at all. Look where he plays this ball from. On his hips, definitely. Just helps himself to 4 runs. And from that angle, you're going to have to get that ball on off stump or outside of off stump. I've seen the fast bowlers very successfully find that line where it's angled in, pitching on off and leaving the batters. You want to go back to that type of delivery. Next ball, down the leg side, heard an edge, gone. Oh my goodness. I definitely heard an edge. It was the sound that went down the leg side, but you certainly heard the sound that sounded like an edge very, very clearly. We are 120 or so yards away from the pitch, but I'm pretty sure I heard that edge. It did sound like it came off of bat. And so umpire Partha Patanaik is much closer, and he thinks that this came off of the edge of the bat. Maybe this replay will tell us here, yeah, that came off nothing but the bat because it was far enough away from the pad. It was far enough away from everything else. Karan Patel is not happy, but I don't think that umpire Partha Patanaik made a mistake. That is wicket number 7. So the best partnership in the innings so far, worth 30 runs or 34 runs, but unfortunately for the Lone Star Athletics, it has been broken. 94 for 7 is your score. So apologies, I misspoke earlier when I said the partnership was worth 34. It's actually worth 27. Still the biggest partnership in the innings. And so this pair really batted well, and they put themselves in a position where they dragged the team out of the muck. But it's now Imran Khan Jr., left arm pacer, but right now he's a right-handed batter, and he's going to be going right back where he came from, full and straight, and that is the wicket number 8. Imran Khan Jr. lasts for one delivery, all of one delivery. Sankir Batula has wicket number 3. 3 overs bowled for him. 3 for 16 are his figures. Look at this, full and straight, bang on target, and he played all around the wrong line there, Imran Khan. And he unfortunately has been dismissed first ball, and that is the 8th wicket that goes down. All of a sudden, you're in trouble here of being bowled out. End of over number 16 rather. Score is 94 for 8. The coaches will not like that shot. A gigantic gap between bat and pad that time. Expertly exploited by Sankir Batula. End of the over. Score is 94 for 7. So 94 for 7, the new batter is Laksh Parikh. Laksh Parikh is a brilliant young left-arm pace bowler. I also happen to know that he's a brilliant student at the University of Texas, a finance major and economics major. So if you're looking at things from a finance standpoint, Laksh, your assets here are that you have 42, make that 36 deliveries remaining. Played off the outer edge toward backward point. Okay, my apologies. You have 24, make that 23 balls remaining. So Laksh, your assets are you have 23 balls remaining. Your liabilities are that they're 8 wickets down. And so from that standpoint, you certainly have work to do. Facing up for the first time here, obviously. So Laksh Parikh now taking strike, surveying the field. They bring the field in, a much more attacking field. He is, in theory, hitting to the big side of the field if he pulls the ball to his left, to his leg side, to the left of your screen. But he has work to do to get there. Finds the outside edge, runs it down to deep third for a single. Earlier, I talked about the number of left-handed fast bowlers in this Lone Star Athletics side. One is at the wicket now, Laksh Parikh. One was just dismissed, Imran Khan Jr. The number 11 is Nakash Basarat. He'll be coming in next. Those 3 are 3 tremendous left-arm fast bowlers, probably the quickest of whom is Nakash Basarat, but the other 2, Laksh Parikh and Imran Khan Jr., are excellent in their own right. Solidly played down the ground here, should just be a single. And so it's going to be interesting to see whether or not the fact that you have so many left-arm fast bowlers, you don't have a whole lot of left-arm fast bowlers around in cricket these days. So is it the fact that you can rely on those left-arm fast bowlers to essentially change the equation? Because as of right now, you have a pretty paltry score that will be put up. 97 runs is not a whole lot to write home about. Maybe this pair can apply themselves and get to somewhere around 120 run a ball to win, that would be something that they might aim at. But they have very big problems here. Solidly defended there by Lakshpark. No run. So Abhinav Chowdhury, 1 over left. Harsh Kakani is into his last over. 1 for 22 are his figures so far. And I think all of the bowlers have done very well. And we'll go over the full bowling card after we get the chance here. Going now around the wicket, looking to attack the stumps for Lakshpark. Mohammad Usman, 33 from 35. Do you get to the point where you just try to take all the strike the rest of the way? Very full. Goes for the big drive and misses out on that, Lakshpark. Last ball coming up. And I think he's gone around the wicket here because Harsh Kakani just looking to target the base of leg stump. And maybe the conversation that is taking place between those two right now is just whatever happens, you stay at that end. So you would think that they'd want an even number of runs here, even if it's a dot, so that Mohammad Usman is on strike to start the next over. Waving at this one, not making in contact. That is the end of a really good spell from Harsh Kakani. 4 overs, 1 for 22. And is it going to be Sankirth Batula who bowls next? We'll see. The end of 17, 97 for 8. Well, it's not going to be Sankirth Batula. It's going to be Shubham Ranjani, the opening bowler. Bowled overs 1 and 4. Coming back here to bowl over number 18. Mohammad Usman, 33 from 35 with 3 fours. Shubham Ranjani, brilliant all-rounder, major leaguer. And now bowling to Mohammad Usman. In the air, that ball could have been caught easily had there been an extra cover in position. And groans around the ground because they think that they missed a trick there. Usually you have someone fielding right at short extra cover. I think you've gotten to the point now, though, where we're going to see whether or not you can manufacture some runs. Bowling over the wicket to the left-handed Lakshpark. And there's a deep third and a deep fine leg, so maybe they're anticipating a scoop shot and they want to dissuade Lakshpark from playing that shot. Here's Shubham Ranjani. Short ball, and he tried to run it fine. So I think they know that he's trying to get access scoring opportunities behind the square on the leg side, or on the offside rather. And Laksh just trying to ramp that one up and not making contact. But here's the next delivery coming. You're running out of balls now, 16 to go. And you're now to the point where you don't want to get bowled out, but you certainly want to do something to attempt to accelerate. Wave and a miss at this one. So the last 9 deliveries have yielded 4 runs. So essentially you're decelerating at the time that you don't want to be decelerating. And Shubham Ranjani, I think, is going to try and, as much as possible, to try to bowl that hard length. At least last 2 deliveries he's bowled to Lakshpark have been shorter. Oh, that didn't go exactly where Laksh wanted to play it, but he gets it down to fine leg or to deep third for single. Looking to play that square on the leg side, and it came off the outside edge. 2 balls remaining here in over number 18, though. So do you try to do something to manufacture runs behind square? Deep third and deep fine leg are now both inside the circle. So if he wanted to play a scoop shot, Mohammad Usman, now would be the time to play it, because nobody's in the deep behind the wicket. Stroked past the non-striker Lakshpark, who takes evasive action. 3 runs already from over number 18, but this is sluggish going for the Lone Star Athletics. Maybe the point here is to bat as much as you can to make sure you get all the way through the innings. 100 up with that shot, by the way. So you've gotten to that moral victory, if you will. But practically, you need a whole lot more runs than what you have now, you would think. Last ball, short ball again. Tries to cut, misses again. And that is a brilliant over by Shubham Ranjane. 3 runs coming from it. His 3 overs so far have cost only 11 runs. So brilliant bowling by the all-rounder. 2 overs to go. The score is 100 for 8. So there is your over by over comparison, or the Manhattan, if you will. Tells the whole story. Last couple of overs have been essentially 2-story buildings. You need much more than that. Sankir Batula in for his last over. Goes past the outside edge here. Mohamed Usman, 35 from 37. And I think that you've seen where this pair, while they've been there for a while, a handful of deliveries, a couple of overs, they've only put 6 runs on the board. Sankir Batula, brilliant spell. Talked about how good he is. 3 wickets already, 3 for 16. Has 5 balls remaining in his spell. And boy, at this stage, you're bowling in over number 19, and you're asking Mohamed Usman to score big here. Hammered, but straight to mid-off, no run. I was struck with some power. Harish Kakani showing some evidence of that ball having stung when it got to him at mid-off. If Mohamed Usman hits big on the leg side, which is again the power side of most batters, he'd be hitting toward the big side of the ground, the 80-yard boundaries. So if he pulls the ball to his left, the left of his screen, that's a big hit. Goes down the ground. A lot of work for Chetene Bishnoi. Get 1 coming back for the second. They'll get 2. It's good work. So the big shots in terms of the 4s and 6s have all gone away. In fact, in this entire innings, there's only been 1 6. 9 4s and 1 6. So the runs, they've been trying to do it by running singles and running doubles. Not a lot reaching the fence or going over it so far. And your 3 deliveries into over number 19. That means you have just 3 or 9 balls remaining in the innings. Off the outside edge, deep point has the opportunity to cut that one off. Just another single. 3 runs already from the over. So over number 18 went for 3 runs. Over number 17 went for 3 runs. So scoring absolutely has slowed down. Already 3 in this over, 2 balls to come. But can Laksh Parikh manufacture something here? You've seen him a couple of times already try to place that late delivery, late cut, if you will. Very full, hammered past the bowler. Harish Kakani at mid-off, cleans up, just a single. Last ball coming up in the spell of Sankir Batula. Really good bowling for him. And now you're at the point where if you get to maybe 115, can you manufacture something to get to 115? It's going to be difficult doing it or run a ball from here, but a run a ball from here gets you exactly to 111. Can you just up the ante just a little, get you to 115? In the air, couple of bounces, it's in the gap, a long run for deep cover. He will not get there, goes away for 4. These are important runs. Mohamed Usman now into the 40s. 4 off of the last ball of over number 19. Kind of spoils the spell for Sankir Batula. And if you see there on the replay, advanced down the track, just skipped to the pitch a little closer and got it over the top of extra cover. Important runs again. 108 for 8 is the score after 19.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
You heard the edge from here, huge deflection. Lakshparik looking to accelerate, not a lot to lose when you only have one over left. Goes for the big drive, finds the outside edge. Shubham Ranjani has his first wicket, bowled very economically, but that's the first time that he's gotten in the wickets column. Here's a replay, huge swipe and a miss, and you're not going to put that one down if you are Arjun Mahesh. So, about the only intrigue left here is, can you get to the point where you bat out the 20 overs? Because Sankirth Batula has done well, excellently actually. Nobasha Sheikh has done well, Harish Kakani, really all of the bowlers have done well. And you're now to the point where the question you're going to ask is, can Nakash Basarat get a single? Can he get to the other end and give Mohammed Usman a chance to express himself at the back end of this innings? Over the top of backward point, a long run, and they'll settle for one run here. He was only going to accept one run there. They easily had the time to run for two. A pretty long run for Chetani Bishnoi from deep third, but the only man that they want to strike right now is Mohammed Usman. He is now striking it exactly at the rate of 100, 42 from 42. And where you are now, if he hits big, conversely, as opposed to the last over, hitting big here will be to the short side of the field. So Shubham Ranjan is going to have to be careful with his line. Don't want him hitting on the leg side here. Speaking of line, this is too far outside the line of off stump. So I think Shubham Ranjani gets that message. You don't want him hitting to the leg side because, again, that's the short boundary. But 65 yards, 64 yards square. But it also can't be so wide that it's not inside the guidelines there on the offside. In other words, as you look at the batter right now, to the right of him or to his right, you see those two white lines. You want it to be inside that outside white line. Played down the ground. They do not take the single. I do not mind that at all. The only person that you want facing anything the rest of the way is Mohammed Usman. 42 from 43 now. You're at 110. 3 balls remaining. What can you manufacture the rest of the way? Whatever happens, you need to be the one batting the rest of the way. These next 3 deliveries. Tries the scoop. Doesn't go anywhere. Trickles to backward point. It's a good delivery right in the block hole. Tried to sweep it away. Can't get anything on it. And once again, they refuse the single. Maybe from here, whether or not you take a single off this ball, the penultimate ball of the innings, I think is an open question. But you have to try to do something here that will manufacture runs. Here's the second to last ball. Nope, played it right back to the bowler. And now this is the last ball, and they will run on anything here. Oh, what a brilliant last over being bowled here by Shubham Ranjane. 110 for 9 is your score, but deceleration all the way by the Lone Star Athletics because they've not been able to put much of substance together at the back end of the innings. Here's the last ball. Off the outside edge, they'll run one. They'll absolutely come back for the second. And a strong throw coming into the keeper's end. So 2 runs, scant 2 runs, 4 runs coming from the last over. The end of the innings is upon us. 112 for 9 is your final score. Look at the scorecard as soon as we get that available. I think you'll see where the one man who dominated was Mohammed Usman, 44 from 46 with 4 fours. Awazia 14. Karan Patel 15. Look toward the bottom there, you see extras also with 15. So when extras is your second highest score, that's not a good sign for you, Lone Star Athletics. The bowlers, I think, were excellent. all of them with really good economy rates, maybe with the exception of Chetene Bishnoi. His 1 over cost 10, but everyone else kept it to within 6 or lower. So brilliant bowling all the way down, and then 3 wickets each for Sheikh Nobasha and Sankirth Batula. So quick break for us. 113 is your target when the Dallas Xforia Giants come to bat. We'll be right back. Here's the first ball. Bang on target, bowling over the wickets to the right-handed bat. Oh, sorry. One of the rules is that, oh my goodness, I'll get back to that because he found the outside edge this time. And that's too short. And it's powered away into the deep. That's the big side of the ground. Long run by the fielder coming around from mid-wicket. Not going to be able to get there. Then you can get punished. Oh, look at that. He makes the adjustment. He did land that one in the right. 2 balls remaining here in over number 6. Appeal for a catch. Gone. My goodness. This is number 9. So you're falling behind here. Great ball. Appeal and gone. Toe of the batter. So certainly nothing there. Slammed away into the deep. That is the first time that you've seen an aggressive shot like that for a really long time. Harsh Kakani back into the attack. This is powered away. Long run for the fielder coming from mid-wicket. He won't get there. Next delivery. Very full. That goes off the outside edge. Very fine, and it goes away for 4 more. Other bowlers have been all very excellent. Down the ground, catchable. Simplest of catches. Another wicket. In cricket in this league. Played down the ground. That might run away for 4. Long run. In fact, Chetene Bishnoi gives up the chase. Get to in terms of the overall score. Whoa, look at that. Okay, so the one thing that I did say, if you score that can be challenged, or that we challenge, this is a lovely shot. Driven away through the offside. Karan Patel. Here's a baseball player. Sankirth Batula. Short, helped around the corner for 4. Short and on his hips. Next ball. Down the leg side, heard the edge, gone. Oh my goodness. Figures, look at this, full and straight, bang on target, and he played all around the wrong line there, Imran Khan. And he unfortunately has been dismissed first ball, and that is the 8th 15. In the air, couple of bounces, it's in the gap, a long run for deep cover. He will not get there, it goes away for 4. These are important runs, Mohammed Usman.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.
Welcome back to Grand Prairie. This is going to be interesting because the Lone Star Athletics do not have very many runs. They only scored 112. But I talked a couple of times about their opening bowler or their left arm fast bowlers. I think the most dangerous of the three is this man who's opening the bowling, Nakash Basarat. And so for me, it is going to be absolutely important for him to take wickets up front. He absolutely needs to take wickets up front. He's going to be bowling to the man with the gold helmet to the left of your screen, Chetene Bishnoi. Talked about him already. And I think, in fact, that's the non-striker with his back to you, number 10. That is Arjun Mahesh. And this pair, in theory, could take things deep. But it's going to be important that they see off this opening fast bowler. 2 slips in position. Watch those 2 slips because he's bowling outswingers to Chetene Bishnoi. Here's the first ball. Playing to the offside, no run. So he's a really exciting ball in Nakash Basarat. And again, his stock ball swings away from the left-hander and into the right-hander. So it's going to be interesting to see. Oh, quick little chat there. I think umpire Samir Bandekar is telling Nakash Basarat, your follow-through is taking you directly in front of me, and so don't expect anything in terms of a positive decision on an LBW or a catch. If you're following up in and ending up in front of me, I won't be able to see anything. So 2 slips in position. Those are the 2 top right of your screen. Here is the next delivery from Nakash Basarat. Played off the front foot confidently. So he's playing with the swing, which is a good sign for the Xforia Giants. Nakash Basarat, you'll see that he swings it again away from the lefties. So when an odd number of runs is scored and Arjun Mahesh gets on strike, he's a right-hander. He swings it into the right-handers. And that in-swinger to right-handers is very, very dangerous. So yes, the target that is being chased is not very big, and you'll have to take wickets. Lovely shot, played into the covers. That is Nitish Kumar. So 3 dot balls on the trot. Interestingly, after 2 deliveries, they've taken out one of the slip fielders. So to the right of your screen, you see a man in the back. I'm sorry, to the left of his screen, all the way in the background, you see the man at deep third. But then immediately to the left of the keeper, second man left of your screen, is the 1 slip fielder in position. So maybe they've already thought, okay, this ball is swinging, but not quite as much as I thought it would be. So that's a moral victory already to the batting side. 4 straight dots to start this over. So dots are good, but you need wickets. The required rate from here, even after 4 dot balls, is still 5.84. So that should not challenge most batting sides. And I think the Xforia Giants are a really good batting side. Chetene Bishnoi is excellent. Karshik Gomel is aggressive. Karshik Gomel, the captain, is probably the best of the batters on the side. Arjun Mahesh, the non-striker, is very good. Worked for years under the tutelage of former USA all-rounder Orlando Baker. Slash and miss here. That's the first time you saw him lose his shape. 5 straight dots. And so the rest of the way here, you see the Lone Star Athletics, who did not put up a score that they'd be really happy about. But I talked about Akarshik Gomel. Naushad Sheikh is a good batter. Shubham Ranjan, a tremendous all-rounder, major league player, as I said a couple of times already. Harish Kakani can help himself with the bat, and even when you get to the bowlers, Raymond Dar, Sanketh Batula can throw the bat around if they need to. So from here, you'd think that this top order would be able to get you home. But even if the top order fails, there's still enough batting down the order to get runs. Huge swipe and a miss. Big, loud appeal. Umpire Samir Bandekar is not impressed with the type of appeal. You know, when you need wickets, you tend to sometimes go overboard on the appealing, but umpire Samir Bandekar will have none of it. A maiden over to start with. Good one. Let's see if we can pick anything up on this shout. You see the outswing, and it goes perilously close to that outside edge. And so the bowler is appealing. Keeper throws the ball in the air, but that's not really an appeal, is it? And you're not going to fool umpire Samir Bandekar with that. End of over number 1, no score yet. Arjun Mahesh will take first strike. And again, double left arm pace. Opening partnership. Imran Khan Jr. is going to be the new bowler coming from the theta end. And he'll be swinging it into the right-handed Arjun Mahesh. Played down the leg side. Should be at least 2. Easily off the mark and a long run. Laksh Parekh doing the work to keep this to 2, but confident looking strike. So I'll tell you, the in-swinger to the left hand or to the right-handers is a dangerous delivery, but it needs to start outside the line of off stump. If it starts on the stumps, then it swings down the leg side and it becomes an easier ball to score off of. So Imran Khan is going to have to keep this ball outside the line of off stump to start and have it come inside. Essentially, you want it ended up on the stumps. Good looking stroke there, defended for no run. Imran Khan Jr. is the second of the 2 opening fast bowlers who are lefties. Talked about Laksh Parekh earlier. He's now fielding at deep backward square leg. And now you're inside the power play. The other man outside is at deep third. Advancing down the track and going down the ground. That will run away for 4. Arjun Mahesh showing intent there. Ball slowed down a little bit, but still had enough to get all the way to the ropes for 4. So Arjun Mahesh showing intent, advancing down the track. One reason why you want to do that is because you want to get the ball before it starts swinging too much. And the closer you are to the ball, in other words, the further away you are from the stumps, then the better it is for you because the ball has less to travel and then it doesn't have as much time to swing. So, Arjun Mahesh with intelligent batting so far. Slower delivery, going past the outside edge. 2 balls remaining here at over number 2, but already a positive start for Arjun Mahesh. 6 from 3. Chaitanya Bishnoi has faced 6 deliveries, has not scored off of any of them. I said of these 2 opening fast bowlers, the one who I think is more difficult to score off of is Nakash Basarat. And 6 from Imran Khan's first over so far. 2 balls still to come. Wide ball. So bonus run there. Extra ball, extra run. Of course, you're only defending another 106. So you do not have any room whatsoever to bowl any extras. Essentially, from here, you need to bowl everything on the stumps. Ooh, interesting. That is an interesting call. Umpire Partha Patanaik. Of course, that wide line is not definitive. It's the umpire's discretion as to whether or not that wide is given. From our angle that time, it looked like it may just have been inside the line. And that's cut away. Insult to injury here. 4 more runs. Arjun Mahesh is making him pay. 11 runs from the over so far with 1 to come. Just a touch of width. So again, the ball does not seem to be swinging as much as it ordinarily does. Look at this delivery, starting outside and essentially was going straight on. Not much in swing, and it's easily played away for 4 by Arjun Mahesh. See again on that replay, advancing down the track once again. So the closer you are to the bowler when the ball is played, the less distance the ball can travel, and therefore the less swing that you'll see with it. Again, intelligent batting. No single there, but a productive over. Really productive over. None from the first over, 11 from the second. At the end of 2, the score is 11 without loss.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Nakash Basarat to continue. Bowled a maiden his first over. That's not going to be a maiden this time. That's over the top of mid-off. Racing away for 4. So those of you who know both cricket and Valentine's Day, the most corny thing for a cricket commentator to say is that he bowled his maiden over. But that's exactly what he did. The first over that he bowled here, Nakash Basarat. But this time, this is elegantly stroked away over the top of mid-off for boundary. And I'll tell you what, this ball is not swinging nearly as much as it ordinarily does to these two new bowlers, or these two new ball bowlers. That one going through, held its line through the wicketkeeper Arya Kanantha, the young man who opened the batting. Arya Kanantha from the Houston area, 19 years old. Love seeing the youngsters in this lineup, and you absolutely love seeing the fact that minor league cricket has mandated that 2 members of the playing 11 have to be U21s. Arjun Mahesh fits that bill for the Dallas Xforia Giants. Next delivery, played away, backward point. That's a good stop. Saved 4 runs there. So Arjun Mahesh is a U19 player. He's 17 years old. Rahman Dar, who's not in the lineup today, but he's a U21 player. Abhinav Chowdhury, you saw him bowl earlier. He's U21. He's 19 years old as well. And so you love seeing the youngsters being represented here on the big stage. So a dot ball here after, you have 2 dot balls after the boundary, 3 balls into over number 3. And you need wickets here if you're the Lone Star Athletics. Lovely shot, 4 more. Absolutely brilliant. And what little swing there is, both Arjun Mahesh and now Chaitanya Bishnoi are playing with the swing. So this is off the middle of the bat, racing through the covers. Look at that, absolutely brilliant. Drills it past extra cover for boundary. 2 balls remaining now in over number 3. So you're down to the last 94 runs needed in the next 104 balls. So you're well ahead of the game. And if you keep playing within yourself, a dot ball is perfectly fine. A maiden over is fine as long as you continue to play within yourself, because this pair so far has looked like they're more than capable of chasing these runs. And again, they're good batting side, the Dallas Xforia Giants, so you don't expect any hiccups from them. Played off the back foot, no single there. So of the 9, make that 11 balls that have been faced by Chaitanya Bishnoi, 9 have been dots. But the 2 that have not been dots, he's gotten 4 for them. So 8 runs to his name. Arjun Mahesh a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more expressive, 10 from 6. Nakash Basarat on to his last delivery here in over number 3 of this innings. 20 over match, you get the sense that this innings won't go 20 overs. Last ball. Helps himself around the leg side, at least a couple runs here. A long run for Laksh Parekh. Is he going to get there in time? He will not. So that is a boundary that closes things out in over number 3. 3 scoring strokes in that over. All 3 go for 4. And at the end of over number 3, as you see a replay here again, doesn't overhit this, really just helps it around the leg side, just helping it. There you see, just not an expressive shot, more just helping it over the leg side. And even though that's to the big side of the ground, the 80-yard boundary, it still has all the legs to get there. Laksh Parekh diving in vain at the very end there. 12 runs coming from that over. 23 losses you score. Here's Imran Khan Jr. again. So the first over was a maiden, but since then you've had 2 overs that have gone for 11 and 12 respectively. Starts out here with a dot, but you get the sense that this opening pair has this chase under control. I'm not trying to jinx them, I'm really not. But what I'm trying to do is just point out the fact that when you're chasing a relatively below par total, you have options. That is in the air, that's going to clear the infield. Won't get all the way to the boundary, I don't think. Pull back now, and that is a decent effort. Played into the outfield. That is Mohammed Usman, who was after that one and did enough to keep it from going to the boundary. Don't think it would have gotten to the boundary anyway, actually. But either way, the point I was trying to make is that sometimes if you're chasing a below par score, essentially you play within yourself and try not to make any risk or take any risks, and then end up having it be a more difficult chase than it should be. This pair, I think, is going about it effectively, doing what you need to do to cut out the big shots. But if the ball is there to be hit, then you hit the big shot. Change in the field now as Lakshpar coming inside the circle from deep backward square leg. And no, you're looking for an off stump line here. You'd think that is an off stump line, and it's played into the offside. For the first time, Chaitanya Bishnoi will face from the river end, the southern end of the ground. Arjun Mahesh 13 from 9, Chaitanya Bishnoi an even 12 from 12. So 26-run partnership to start with here. Really good going from this pair. 87 runs needed in the next 99 balls. So it's getting progressively easier. The required rate started out under 6, 5.8, and is now coming down to 5.2. So you know that things are going the way that you want them to. Left arm over the wickets. Again, not much swing so far, but any amount of swing will be away from the left-handed Chaitanya Bishnoi. Solid, quick single taken here, and that is good running. Arjun Mahesh fleets of foot, 17-year-old sprinting across the outfield or across the pitch. And that is a single that takes you now to 86 runs needed. That deficit is getting more and more in your favor. For the Lone Star Athletics to win this game, I think you need wickets, and you need a lot of them. At minimum, you need to build pressure, but wickets, I think, is the name of the game for you from here. Oh, lovely. Up and over the top. This may get to the boundary. Extra cover has a long run, and I don't think got there in time. Or did he? Umpire Partha Patanaik will want an answer here. I think he did well enough. So he saves 2 runs. That's a good long run, and it's pulling it back. So good effort there from the fielder running back from extra cover. Don't know how important those 2 runs will be in the context of this game, but he did enough here to pull things back, save 2 runs, and if nothing else, it's a moral victory. So now, Arjun Mahesh back on strike for the last ball. 6 runs from the over already. Appeal for a leg before, and don't think under any circumstances that would have been given. Slow delivery by Imran Khan Jr., but for me that is bouncing over the top. Take a look at this. You see what umpire Partha Patanaik sees. Oh no, that pitch is outside leg as usual, and it's going to be high. So the pitching outside leg is the first reason why that was given not out, and then it was still high as well. So nothing going for that appeal. End of over number 4. The score is 29 without loss.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
So spin for the first time. Isaiah, when I say spin, is actually the length of his run-up would indicate that he's a spinner, but he's actually bowling medium pace, Isaiah. So he can bowl spin, but here he's bowling medium pace. I reckon that the wicketkeeper is back by probably 10 yards, so he's expecting the ball to be coming with a little bit of zip on it, but you see that run up. It's only about 5 yards. Played away square. It's going to be 4 more runs. Lovely shot, timed beautifully by Chaitanya Bishnoi. It was full, it was in the slot, and he just plays it away off the open face of the bat. Look at this, not much flourish, just opening the face. There, absolutely brilliant. Off the middle of the bat with an open face. Certainly not off the edge. Solid shot through the covers, through backward point really for 4. Score now up to 33, just another 80 needed. Did that go? Let's see. Gone. Oh my goodness. So immediately gets the revenge. Oh, Isaiah. Chaitanya Bishnoi looked really good the ball previous to or prior to this one, but on this one I think, watch his front foot. Doesn't go anywhere. Just kind of reaches for this one. Yeah, the front foot is stuck there, and a good catch by Arakananta. Chaitanya Bishnoi will be disappointed with that when he sees it. Just poking. Not getting in line not getting any attempt to get in line with the ball. And that front foot stays rooted to the crease, slants across him, kisses the outside edge, and a good low catch taken by Arya Kanantha. So the opening partnership is broken. You don't get 10 wickets without first getting 1. So from that standpoint, it's a good thing. You've broken the opening partnership. Owazia does the trick. Got struck for 4, but immediately comes back with the big wicket of Chaitanya Bishnoi. So 1 wicket down, 9 to go from the perspective of the Lone Star Athletics. From the perspective of the Dallas Xforia Giants, it means that you get a giant batter to the crease. Believe this will be Gaurav Bajaj when I can read his jersey number. Yep, that is Gaurav Bajaj. So, wicket here. You have 2 righties at the crease now, so this makes it easier for the bowling side, because with 2 righties at the crease, you're not constantly having to switch your line. Target of 113, so you've gotten a fair distance of the way there. 33 is your score. 80 runs needed in the next 93 balls. And the medium pace of Owazia doing the trick here in over number 5. He's ready. Gaurav Bajaj is ready. Let's see what happens here. Immediately off the mark. Should just get 1. Arjun Mahesh, I think, is just jogging that 1. So no real chance of having anything other than a single there. So you do have some benefit to having gotten the medium pacer. And all the talk about the left arm fast bowlers, it's the right arm medium pacer who's the one to immediately break the partnership in his first over. Arjun Mahesh now 15 from 11. Gaurav Bajaj, as you just saw, scoring a single from the first and the only ball that he's faced. Wazia facing now to Arjun Mahesh. Slip fielder back in position. Inside edge onto the pad. And I think that will be just an inadvertent collision there between bowler and the batter. All good natured. You see them sort of indicate to each other. Sorry about that. Last ball coming up here in over number 5. It's a good over so far from Owazia. 6 runs coming from it already and a wicket. Here is the last ball. Gaurav Bajaj on strike. Lets it go through. No run there. Good over for Owazia. Breaks the opening partnership. Only concedes 6 runs. Last over of power play coming up. The score is 35 for 1. Scorecard tells the story there. 17 from 16 for Chaitanya Bishnoi before he was dismissed. Arjun Mahesh 16 from 12. Gaurav Bajaj 1 from 2 are the 2 at the crease now. So this partnership just now getting off the schneid, if you will. Imran Khan Jr. in for his third over. Bowled overs 2, 4, and now 6. This is the last over of the power play. The first ball going across the right-handed Arjun Mahesh without the ball swinging as much as you would expect. It further emphasizes the point that you need to have the ball land in the right line and on the right length. And with Awazia top left of your screen now at slip, that angle that's created bowling over the wicket becomes an important one. Oh, good delivery, bang on target. That is a Yorker. Can't get much from that Arjun Mahesh, but in fairness does well enough to keep it from disturbing the furniture. So a couple of deliveries here to start out with on the last 4 remaining inside the power play now. Imran Khan Jr. First over was expensive, went for 11. Second over went for 6, so he's conceded 17 already. Played off the back foot here. Good over on the way here for Imran Khan Jr. 3 dot balls to start out with. Arjun Mahesh's strike rate is now approaching, and by approaching I mean going down to 100. And so not much risk in batting conditions as we speak. It's essentially perfect for batting, and even if you absorb a few dot balls, that's perfectly fine. You're not exactly chasing a big total here, and in fact that defensive shot by Arjun Mahesh would almost seem to indicate that he was playing a test match. So no reason to do anything expressive. 4 dots. Remember, the first ball or the first over of this innings was a maiden over. And this is over, or ball number 5 in the over. Full toss, played into the covers. It was a slow, loopy full toss. So trying to dig into or dip into his bag of tricks here, Imran Khan. Trying to find some sort of way to tempt Arjun Mahesh into a rash shot, but he's not taking the bait just yet. Last ball coming up in the over, last ball in the power play. Yep, 2 balls remaining, I'm sorry. Played into the deep. Should just be a single here. And now this will, nope, that was indeed the last ball. So I had it right. The scorecard had it wrong. So end of the over, end of the power play. 36 for 1 is your score.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Awazia back into the attack. The first delivery bounces perilously close to the stumps after it's played by Arjun Mahesh. Don't know if we can take a look at that last ball. He defended it and it bounced back toward the stumps. Look at this. Oh, there. That inside edge easily could have gone on to hit leg stump. So he might consider himself lucky there, Arjun Mahesh. Second over being bowled by Awazia. A successful first over, conceded 6 runs and took a wicket. Bang on target here again. So the run rate has slowed down a lot in the last couple of overs. Might have another look at that inside edge. That had that been a 4th stump, had there been a 4th stump there to the right of leg stump, that would have hit it. So certainly considering himself lucky, Arjun Mahesh. Now you've seen him with the urge to come down the track, and he's done that a couple of times so far. And there you may have just seen where Arya Kanantha was signaling. I don't know, I thought he was signaling that he needed a helmet, because one way to dissuade Arjun Mahesh from coming down the track so many times would be to keep up to the stumps. Played into the offside here. This is Laksh Parekh. So Arjun Mahesh has not had a hard time at all. He's looked very comfortable. Even when he's absorbed a few dot balls, he's still able to rotate the strike and essentially keep the scoreboard moving, and no pressure whatsoever is being built on these batters. Even with the wicket already having been taken, Arjun Mahesh going big. I may have jinxed him. Nitish Kumar will never in a million years drop that. I jinxed Arjun Mahesh. Arjun, I am very sorry. He tried to go big, but you're not going to get the ball over the head of Nitish Kumar, and he, I've said this before, for me is one of the safest pairs of hands in the league. International player, played for both the US and for Canada, and unless you're hitting that one out of the park, he's never going to drop it. Nitish Kumar with a pretty straightforward catch for him, and Arjun Mahesh, his innings ends with a shot that I think he'd prefer to not have played. That is the end of his day. Did well, 17, make that 18 from 22 with 2 fours, but I think he'll be disappointed in that choice of shot. Last over, or last ball of the over coming up, and by the way, notice now that OSZ has taken a wicket in each of his 2 overs. Here's the over by over, and that comparison, not quite populated yet, but you see where the Lone Star Athletics, they had a few big overs, a handful of big overs, but for the most part, they did not score anything near as heavily as they would have liked. There's a worm. The worm tells you a bit of a story. The red worm is above the blue worm, which is what you want if you're looking to be in a position to win. So relatively small partnership, that one, of only 5. And now the last ball coming up here. Karshik Gomel, the captain, and a really good first ball to him. That is the end of yet another successful over for Owaizia at the end of over number 7. The score is 38 for 2. $38 for 2, and that last ball bowled by OSZ was a peach of a delivery. I want to see that again. That snuck in, moved in off the seam, and cut Akashit Gomel in half. And that is a brute of a delivery to get for your first ball up. So now another change, and now you see the third of those 3 left-arm fast bowlers who I talked about. First 2, Nakash Basarat and Imran Khan Jr. Nakash Basarat, really both of them. Here's a replay again before we talk about the bowlers. Look at this ball, snakes in and then moves in and cuts him in half. That is a brilliant delivery. Now, Nakash Basarat and Imran Khan Jr. both going at exactly run a ball, both conceding an economy rate of 6. And the third of the 3 left-arm fast bowlers, Laksh Parekh, is now going to be bowling from the theta end, bowling to Gaurav Bajaj. In the air for a while, had there been a short mid-wicket, that would have been right down his throat. So a single down the ground to start with. Laksh Parekh puts both his hands to his head. He knows that potential could have been a chance. But of course, you can't put fielders everywhere. And part of what you're trying to do as a left-arm fast bowler is to get the batters to play on the legs on the offside. With that angle being created, left arm over the wicket, slanting it across the right-handers. You're asking them to play. So there's a deep third, there's a backward point, there's a deep cover, there's an extra cover, and there is a regulation cover. So 5-4 field is what Laksh Parekh is bowling to. Karshik Gomel, quick single here, and they'll get there without much fuss. So a couple of deliveries here, Lakshparik doing exactly what the other two left-armers have done so far, just conceding a runner ball. A runner ball under most circumstances is acceptable, but if you're only looking to defend 113 runs, then not only do you need to restrict the batters to a runner ball, but you also need to take wickets. A runner ball, obviously, over a full 20 overs gets you to 120, and you don't exactly need 120. So you need wickets. How do you manufacture wickets here? Struck wide of mid-on. That's going to race away for 4. Did not in any way try to overhit that, just clipping it. An on-drive sometimes is not the easiest of shots to play, but in fairness, it was on his pads, and most batters will want the ball on their pads, swinging in, but swinging in toward the pads. Once again, if that ball is going to be swinging, you're going to want to start it outside the line of off stump, so it swings in and ends up on the stumps. This time Lakshparik getting it just a touch too straight. So 3 balls remaining here in over number 8. Short delivery, hit to the big side and put down. Oh my goodness, it goes for 4. Oh, that could have and probably should have been taken. That is Karan Patel, who is down there, and I think he's indicating that that ball got in the lights. So it's a smart delivery by Lakshparik because he bowls it short, but he hits, the batter is hitting to the big side. And there, that replay tells you that he never really saw it, Karan Patel. So I think it's a legitimate complaint that it was in the bright lights. And it could have been a wicket, probably should have been a wicket, but you really can't blame him for that. Next delivery, no ball, oh my goodness. So insult to injury here. First the drop, then the 4. Then now Lakshparik oversteps the front crease. And now with the same batter on strike, we'll see if we can pick it up here on the replay. Watch this front foot. Yeah, you can see that from that angle. Nothing is behind the line. And the same batter being on strike means that Akashit Gomel or Gaurav Bajaj rather can swing for the fences here. This is a free hit. Outside edge. It bounces before it gets to Arikanantha. Doesn't matter, would not have counted, but a good delivery on the free hit. But Lakshparik will want to not overstep that front crease again. Sometimes you get fired up and you overstep that front crease just based on pure adrenaline, but it's up to you as a bowler to realize that you're getting close to that front line and make sure that you keep your foot behind it. 49 runs on the board. Last ball of over number 8 coming up. Played in the leg side. Should just be a single, Karan Patel. Easy pickup, easy throw. As mentioned before, he can throw the ball from one end of this field to the other. Absolutely tremendous throwing arm. Single closes things out. 12 runs come from the over. Really should have been 8 and a wicket. Lakshparik will not be happy with that. But end of over number 8, the score is 50 for 2.
Even the best in the business needs a strategic partner to help them win. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Well, when you have a bowler who is hot, you keep riding the hot hand. Awazia with his 3rd consecutive over. Played off the back foot, should be a couple runs here. Just coming back and jogging the second one. Then Imran Khan making a junior. Imran Khan Jr. making a meal of that delivery, or of that fielding opportunity. Couple of runs to start over number 9. So the first 2 overs that have been bowled here by Wazia, he's taken wickets. He's now into his 3rd. Does he take a 3rd wicket in his 3rd over? Let's see. Solid strike, but straight to mid-off. Oh, run out opportunity was there for just a split second. A clean pickup and a shot at the stumps, but he was not able to get much on it, Nakash Basarat. And I think you'll see there but that he is left-handed, so he's moving to his right. So having to stop and pivot and gather enough momentum to throw is not easy. Play to the offside. Lakshparik coming off the ropes at deep point. So just doing it in with relative ease here. Partnership starting to grow, starting to flourish a little bit now, worth 16. And Isaiah played away square. A lot of work for Laxparik. He will not get there. So this one is played away square, but just a little bit finer than Laxparik would have liked, because it was such an angle that he was not able to get to it. That races away behind point. Look at this. Plays it effectively, just on top of the bounce, not trying to overhit it, Gaurav Bajaj. And Laxparik is very athletic, but he was not able to get to that one. 8 runs from the over already, and we've passed the halfway mark. Inside edge onto the pads and trickling to square leg for a single. Started saying we're past the halfway stage in terms of runs needed. The score is 59. You only need another 54 runs, and you have all of 67 balls in which to get them. So the required rate is now actually under 5. So getting more and more easy here for the batting side, the Dallas Xforia Giants, who I said bat relatively deep. They're proving it so far here. Played off the back foot. Oh, what a stop. Karan Patel in that area, backward point, saves probably 3 runs, because that may have gotten away for 4 had he not fielded that. 10 runs come from the over. After 9, the score is 60 for 2. $60 for 2, 53 runs needed for victory for the Dallas Xforia Giants. Laxparik is into his second over, bowling over number 10. Figures are none for 12, but he should have had a wicket had that ball not been lost in the lights in his first over. Inside edge onto the pad, it sounds like. Ball running down to deep third. Watch umpire Partha Patanaik. Nope, no inside edge. The signal there says leg by. So first leg by signal for the innings. Look at this replay. See if we can pick up what happened here. Heard 2 noises. Not exactly sure what happened there, but in any event, it is a leg by. So next delivery by Laxparik, bowling now to Gaurav Bajaj. And if you note that he's bowling the odd delivery from this end short, and I've said before why that would be, because the natural reaction by most batters is to try to pull a ball that is short. But if he pulls it here, either Gaurav Bajaj or now Akashik Gomel, he's hitting to the big side of the ground, and there's a man placed in that position. Essentially, they've set the trap. And every once in a while, the bait will be the short delivery. Let's see if either of these batters can resist going for the bait. Whipped away off his hips down to that man, Karan Patel. You're not going to attempt to run a quick single on him, I don't think. Well, they ran a single, but they're not going to try to run a second. Said it earlier. He's a pitcher, a baseball pitcher in the Chicago White Sox organization. His fastball has been clocked at 95 miles an hour. If you can throw a baseball at 95 miles an hour, it's not surprising that you're fielding on the boundary, because anyone who tries to take an extra run on your arm can essentially be considered as signing their own death warrant down the leg side. But I believe that this would have hit, maybe flicking the pad on the way through, so not signaled as a wide. Laxparik might consider himself lucky there, because that ball was going down the leg side. Had that not hit off the pad of the batter. So Gaurav Bajaj, 21 from 15. Akashik Gomel just now getting started. For me, as I said earlier, Akashik Gomel is the best of the batters on this side. His next delivery. Ooh, shooting past that outside edge. 1 ball remaining here in over number 10. Almost at the halfway stage in terms of runs. But as of right now, only another 50 needed. Needing to score at the rate of 4.9 and over, so less than 5 and over. A relatively straightforward chase with 8 wickets in hand, you would think. You would think. Stranger things have happened, but I think you've gotten to the point now where you might want to see if there's something in your bag of tricks that you try to manufacture a wicket of some sort. Oh, big slash and a miss, but it is too wide. You'll have to re-bowl this one. So the target now less than 50. 49 runs needed in the next 61 balls. Next 61 legal deliveries. It's a better over in terms of economy rate for Laksh Parikh, but that wide means that he'll now have to bowl an extra ball. 4 extras so far, so not much in terms of additional runs. Plays this away to backward point. Look at that diving stop. Good work in that position. So the fielders are supporting the bowlers in the field. That is Mohammad Usman at backward point, who does well enough to keep it from getting through. Halfway through the innings, the score is 64 for 2. So, the captain brings himself on, Sidesh Patari. Medium pacer, probably a similar bowler in terms of impact to the man who's replacing Owaizia. Played away off the back foot, a long run for Karan Patel. You'll not run on his arm, I guarantee it. Look at that throw. Boy. And his reputation precedes him, you can tell, because he's on the 80-yard boundary and they ran 1 run and stayed right there. So you're not going to take any quick singles or attempt to change 1s into 2s on that arm. And that throw was probably at, I'd say, 60% in terms of his power, because he did not even need to put much into that throw for it to get there on 1 bounce. Dot ball here, so good start by Sidesh Patari. Can you get to the point where you bowl another maiden, where you try to build some pressure, where you, maybe not necessarily a maiden, but put together an over where only 2 or so runs score, and try to put some of the onus back on the bowlers? The scorecard bottom right says Nitish Kumar, but it's actually Sidesh Patari, the captain himself. That, in fact, is Nitish Kumar, who's just fielded that ball, so we could get that change as soon as possible. So Sidesh Patari, 3 deliveries in, conceded a couple of singles, and you need to essentially try to find some way of building pressure. This is going to be another single down the ground, and at this point it's starting to feel all but academic. Now the 46 runs needed from the next 56 balls, 8 wickets in hand. Akashik Gomel, who is their best batter, only 6 from 8, so he hasn't even gotten out of second gear yet. And it seems as though this pair, the batting pair, have resigned themselves to just essentially treating it like batting practice. They're not necessarily going through playing many big shots, and I think you'll see where they will continue to just have the 1s and 2s until maybe at some point they'll turn it on. That might be turning it on. That's off the back foot, and that is the first 6 of the innings. That is a huge hit. Gaurav Bajaj cashing in and going big. That is 6 runs. That closes things out in over number 11. Look at this, just pouncing onto his back foot, Gaurav Bajaj. Maybe Siddhesh Patar wants to pitch this one up a little bit more. He hammers this wide off long on, and it goes away for the first 6 of the innings. So it was a very miserly over until that point, but ends up with 9 coming from it. 40 runs needed. The score is 7-3 for 2. Minor League Cricket 2024 presented by Yash Technologies and Amol, or the longer word name for Amol is Anand Milk Union Limited. Official apparel partners IRA Sportswear. We're coming to you live from the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium in Grand Prairie, Texas, where this matchup in the Central Division featuring the Dallas Xforia Giants and the Lone Star Athletics is, or at least appears to be, on its way to a relatively predictable end, because it is now the case that Akarshik Gomel and Gaurav Bajaj have a partnership that is now worth 35, and they're at the point now where they only need another 40 runs. And so you get the sense that something is going to happen one way or the other here, because the young leg spinner, we saw him earlier with the bat, Aryan Satish, he will now be asked to come in and bowl to 2 very dangerous batters. Gaurav Bajaj 28 from 21, Akarshik Gomel 6 from 8. Something is going to change one way or the other. You don't get the sense that they'll just block to this young man. So he'll turn the ball away. The stock delivery that he bowls turns away from the 2 right-handers. But both of these batters are very adept against spin. And so for me, this is going to be a really interesting matchup. Any amount of turn would be away. So watch that gap over extra cover. There's a huge gap. There's a man sweeping on the offside at regulation cover, almost like point on the boundary there, 65 yards away. And then there's a long off on the boundary. And there's about a 90-degree slice of the field where he has a lot of room to play if he wants to go in that direction. Ooh, tried to go in that direction. Inside edge, athletic piece of work by Arya Kanantha. In the end, it's just a dot ball. Talked about the number of different no balls that there are. One no ball that you don't often see, but we saw just on a highlight the other day recently, where the keeper collected the ball in front of the stumps. Can't do that. And you also can't bowl short to Akarshik Gomel, because he will cash in. Aryan Satish will want to pitch that ball up a little bit more, because that ball, he basically helped himself to 4 runs. It was short and it was wide, really. He could have hit that any direction that he wanted to. He chose to pull it, but it went just wide off long on. Looking at this replay again, just dropping it short, and he helped himself. Plays this one into the covers. That's much, much better. That's more the length and the line that you want to bowl. Now, for me, it's going to be interesting to see if he pitches that same ball, the ball up on that same line, because then that would be presenting an opportunity to play in that big slice of the field I talked about earlier. Next delivery, short in the air again, and a long run by Laksh Parekh. He will not get there. So, .4 is the way that this over has started. And I think Aryan Satish will know that each of these balls that has dropped short, like that one, has been put away for 4. So it's going to be up to you to pitch that ball up. Have the batter playing you down the ground. You want him playing somewhere between long on and long off in that direction. Even if he hits you for 6 in that direction, it's better than dropping it short and going being pulled around the ground. That's a better length, and it's played into mid-wicket. No run there. Now, for me, that length was a slight overcorrection, much better, but about a yard shorter than that last one is probably where he'd be most effective. The last ball coming up. So let's see if that pattern that's been established before continues. That's a better length again. That's more the length that he wants to bowl. So 2 deliveries that drop short in this over get punished, but 4 good deliveries after that, or 4 good deliveries other than those 2. That is the end of over number 12. The score is 81 for 2.
It's an impossible shot.
Sometimes creativity and innovation are all it takes to achieve the impossible. Yash Technologies, more than what you think.
Over 13 about to start. Nakash Basarat back into strike or into bowl. In the air, a couple of bounces. It's going to be the captain himself cleans this up. Single down the ground to start over number 13. So no reason to keep your strike bowlers back at this stage. You need wickets, and you need a ton of them. And even with wickets from this stage, you may have trouble challenging in this game, but you also don't want to just give up. So you go down fighting, you go down with your best bowlers on the ball. Karshik Gomel now on strike. 14 from 14. Gaurav Bajaj 29 from 22. Hammered. Oh, was deflected at the non-striker's end. Would be interesting to see how close this came to disturbing the stumps. Look at this. Played right down the ground. See what happens here. Played down the ground, and oh, that would have been interesting had that flicked off the bowler and gone back onto the stumps. But he lives to fight another day. Here's the next ball. Very quick. That's probably the quickest ball that he's bowled so far, down the leg side. And there's a signal from umpire Samir Bandekar. Next ball from Nakash Basarat. Hammered away. A lot of work for Karan Patel. He will not get there. Oh, put in a fancy slide, but he was not able to get to it. That ball was hit with some power, and it races away for 4. Karshik Gomel cashing in now. 19 from 16. I said earlier that he appeared to be in second gear. That shot was a 4th gear shot, and he can hit big. He can turn it on. 2 balls remaining here in over number 13. 25 runs needed for victory. Do they get to the point where they just start going for it from here? Ooh, that shot indicated that he had designs of going for it, but that's just a single down to Karan Patel. 24 runs needed. 4 sixes or 6 fours. Anything along those lines would be very, very appreciated. Last ball coming up here in over number 13. Here's Nakash Basarat. That score going to be 4 more. Right toward me here. Unfortunately, I'm about 20 yards away from where this ball ends up, but it does not matter. 4 runs, 12 runs coming from the over. That's not what they had in mind when they brought back their strike bowler. That is the end of things here. Over number 13 is done and dusted. The score is 93 for 2. 20 runs needed for victory. So you're going down with all guns blazing here. Imran Khan Jr., the second opening bowler, is coming back to bowl his last over. Bowling now to Akarshik Gomel. Plays this into that backward point area. Single taken here. Oh, fancy footwork. Nakash Basarat choosing to use his foot to stop that one instead of going down and stopping that ball with his hands. And I've always said this, every time I see that, I flash back to when I tried that very same thing several years ago and ended up stepping on a cricket ball and rolling and breaking my ankle. So I get queasy every time I see that happen. Next delivery. Single taken here. That is good cricket. Good, smart cricket. Just dropping it in front of the stumps. And with the keeper back and with short third back, either of those men would be the first ones to be able to get to it, but you can easily walk a single there. Smart batting. Partnership now worth over 50. It's actually 57. Missed that when it happened live, but this is a great partnership in the context of this game. This is great going. Played down the ground. Should just be a single. So doing it now in singles. Over number 13 went for 12 runs. But so far they've not needed to do much. Over 12 went for 8. Over 11 went for 9. So between those 3 overs, they've gotten 29 runs without trying much. And then singles since then, 3 singles. That's played through the extra cover area. In fact, deflected by extra cover. The ball goes down to long on. So 4 balls, 4 singles. And from here, it's just a matter of knowing what over this game is going to end in. Just another 16 runs needed. 16 runs needed from 38 balls. You would not get the sense that they'd need more than, probably half of those 38 balls to score 16 runs. Very full, sliced off the outside edge and gone. My goodness. And he is staying at the wicket. Is he thinking that it was a bump ball, Akarshik Gomel? For me, it appeared we're very far away, obviously. We're probably 120 yards away, so that might be the good old spectator's catch. So for me, it looked like a catch, and then the fielder, Wazir, threw it in the air as if he'd caught it, but it ends up just being a dot ball. And that's played down the ground. So we temporarily don't have instant replay. I think the replay will show that that was a ball that went right off of the ground. But again, we are some distance away from the pitch. No harm, no foul, as they say. 5 runs coming from that over. End of over number 14, 98 for 2. Lakshparik switches, ends, and is now bowling from the river end, bowling over number 15. Play it away into the offside. That is Karan Patel, and I guarantee you they'll only run 1 there. So the partnership building, it is now worth 61 runs. Gaurav Bajaj 36 from 26. Karshik Gomel 23 from 21. And this pair is absolutely, wouldn't say that they've pulled their team out of trouble. They were really never in trouble, but essentially they've cemented the results. That is very apparent. This ball fired down the leg side, so they're 1 run closer to victory here. Just another 13. In fact, that 1 wide ball brings up the 100. So just another 13 coming up here. Lakshparik trying the slower delivery, but gets the line wrong, and it goes down the leg side. Quick look at the batting card there, Gaurav Bajaj, 36 from 26 is your dominant leader in the clubhouse there. Kaushik Gomel not far behind, 24 from 22, both striking it above 100 strike rate. And he overcorrects here, Laksh Parikh, and it is now the case that you'll only have 2 big strikes. There's a partnership, 62 from 44. Make that 63 now from 44 after that wide ball. And this pair, again, not necessarily pulling their side out of trouble, because I wouldn't say that they were in trouble, but there are a couple wobbles. First wicket partnership 33, second wicket partnership was 5, but an unbeaten partnership of 63 here for the third. Played away square. It was a full toss, a low full toss. Karan Patel has had a lot of work to do in the outfield today. So doing it just relatively slowly, relatively anticlimactically, if that's a word. At the back end of this match, Kaushik Gomel, 24 from 22 there. The captain, who I've said a number of times, I believe that he's their best batter. And he has not needed to do a lot today. Gaurav Bajaj is actually the one who's taken charge. The required rate, believe it or not, is less than 2 a ball. Sliced away over the top, at least 2 runs here, you would think. Yeah, they jogged that second run, and now the deficit is below double figures, just now down to 9. By the way, there you see the worm. Needless to say, the red worm is well and truly clear of the blue worm at this stage, and only 2 bumps in that red worm. So that tells you that this is essentially a dominant performance. By the way, join us here again tomorrow afternoon at 7:30 Central Time, where these same 2 teams will lock horns again. Slower delivery. That's well bowled by Laksh Parikh. And let's see what this might look like. I believe that this is the point table as it stands right now. Dallas Xforia Giants have won 1 and lost 1, so they will go to 2 and 1. They will have 5 points. And the Lone Star Athletics also 1 and 1, but they will obviously lose 1 here. And this will also be the case that they will have not affected things positively on the table. So I believe they'll slip below the Dallas Xforia Giants. And this is a very truncated season. This is a relatively, let's call it, extraordinary season. We had the World Cup co-hosted this year between the West Indies and the US, and several matches were played here in the US, so that cut into the length of time that the minor league season would have been ongoing. Certainly major league season had something to do with that as well. So 7 runs from the over so far. Next delivery in the air and right to mid-off. Is that a catch this time? Yes, that is off the face of the bat and struck firmly, but right to short extra cover. That is the captain, Sidesh Patari, who takes that simple catch. Kaushik Gomel is dismissed, striking it, and this one really does go right off the face of the bat. Laksh Parikh can hold his head up high. That extra ball that he had to bowl as a result of having bowled a wide produces a wicket. So 7 runs come from the over and the wicket. Breaks the partnership, and that's the end of over number 15. Not a whole lot to go for in terms of the likelihood of this game going any way other than the direction it seems to be going right now. But you'll take the wicket under your column if you're Laksh Parikh. 67 run partnership is broken. At the end of 15, the score is 105 for 3. Oh, Gar. I mean, yeah, not Garv. Yeah, no, Shimon. Okay, so had the scorecard wrong because there's apparently one ball left in this over. 105 for 3. which means that Lakshparik can add to his total wickets here. Slow delivery, and it is played by the new batter Shubham Ranjane into the offside, leg side rather. The bowler fields himself, no run. So successful over from Lakshparik. Takes a wicket, concedes 7 runs. That is the end of over number 15. Now it's the end of over number 15, and the score is 105 for 3. One of 5 for 3, 8 runs needed for victory. Aryan Satish will bowl his second over. Aryan Satish's 1 over went for 8 runs. He bowled over number 12. Just 8 runs to play with here. Short, hammered away toward deep mid-wicket. 1 run. At the risk of repeating myself, you're not going to try to run extra runs on Karan Patel's arm. So Aryan Satish just making sure that he just keeps things relatively quiet, at least make them have to work for it. That's what you're trying to have done. Next delivery now, bowling to Shubham Ranjane. 1 ball faced for him so far, and he's not yet scored. Make that 2 balls faced, no run scored. So again, just from a moral victory standpoint, you're probably not going to win the game from here, but at least make them work for the runs. Take the game as deep as you can. Yes, stranger things have happened. The chances of you winning this are almost none, but at least make them work for it. A couple of dot balls here. 7 runs needed for victory. You have 1.56 is your required rate the rest of the way, but just gotta have to make them work for it. Not sure exactly why Arakananta has 2 helmets. There's 1 helmet that is on his head, as you see here. Oh, it's actually the batter's helmet. Okay, interesting. So that one is on the ground behind the keeper. Now I think the helmet is essentially surplus to requirements with the spinner bowling. Not surprising that you've seen him take it off, but it's not common that you see the batter's helmet be on the ground behind the keeper. Anyhow, 3 balls remaining here in over number 16. 7 runs needed for victory. Advancing down the track, he tried to tie the game with 1 swipe. Should just be a single here. That is Imran Khan Jr. in the deep. After having danced down the track, I think Shubham Ranjane was trying to put this one into the sports bar and grill. 2 balls remaining here, 6 runs needed. Does Gaurav Bajaj try to end things in a flourish? He can get to his 50, well, he can't get to his 50 actually. Played into the offside because he has 38 runs to his name. If he hits a 6 here to get to 44, that wins the game. So 50 is out of the question. So what do you do from here? It's a dot ball from ball number 5. So the last ball here coming up. Here is Aryan Satish again. Down the ground, stroking it straight. A long run for Imran Khan Jr. and he pulls it back just in time, it looks like. So, did well enough to keep it, limit the damage to just 3 runs in that over, believe it or not. Good over by Aryan Satish. Again, just make them work for it is all you're looking for from here. 5 runs coming, or 5 runs needed from the next 24 balls. You would think that they'd do that in this coming over. 108 for 3. 108 for 3. 5 runs needed for victory. Gaurav Bajaj 39 from 30. Shubham Ranjane 1 from 4. Oh, defended and just past the left hand of Laksh Parekh. Almost had the opportunity to complete a return catch on his follow through, but they get a single. And so now a 4 down the ground ends this game. Really a 4 in any direction, obviously. Ends this game. The Lone Star Athletics are going to lose, but they've dragged this game deep, and it's what you want to see. Number one, because you want to know that you fought for the victory. Number two, because that helps you in your net run rate. Down the ground, that's going to be 4, and that's their game. Powerful strike down the ground by Gaurav Bajaj. Gets into the 40s, ends up with 40 from 31 balls faced. Shubham Ranjane 5 from 5. Okay, the scoreboard is a little bit inaccurate there, but in other words, that is Shubham Ranjane with the winning stroke down the ground. Powerful strike, and it goes right down the ground, and that is the end of the game. So quick look at your scorecard as it is. That winning stroke is over, and the Lone Star Athletics go down in a heap. Final margin of victory for the Dallas Xforia Giants is 7 wickets. Chaitanya Bishnoi 17 from 16, Arjun Mahesh 18 from 22, got them off to a good start. Gaurav Bajaj and Akashik Gomel with the big partnership, and then Shubham Ranjane applying the finishing touches at the end. The bowlers did not have very many runs to defend, and so they tried. Nakash Basara 3 overs, none for 24. He was more expensive than he'd normally be. Imran Khan Jr. 4 overs, none for 23, so he was more frugal but didn't take any wickets, and you needed plenty of wickets. Awazia 3 wickets, or 3 overs, 2 for 18. Laksh Parekh 3.2 overs, 1 for 27. So those are the only 2 bowlers who actually took any wickets. Nitish Kumar, that's not Nitish Kumar, Siddhesh Patare bowled 1 over. Iron Satish bowled 2. But in the end, a pretty straightforward victory by the Lone Star, up by the Dallas Xforia Giants, the Lone Star Athletics coming out on the losing end. So again, same 2 teams right here tomorrow at the Grand Prairie Cricket Stadium. Join us here at 19:30 or 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Until then, good night and good luck. Deep third, advancing down the track and going down the ground. That will run away for 4. Arjun Mahesh showing intent there. That time it looked like it may just have been inside the line, and that's cut away. Insult to injury here. 4 more runs. Arjun Mahesh. That's not going to be made in this time. That's over the top of mid-off, racing away for 4. It's here for the Lone Star Athletics. Lovely shot. 4 more. Absolutely brilliant. Last ball. Helps himself around the leg side. At least a couple of runs here. A long run for Laksh Parekh. Is he going to get there in time? He will not. So it's only about 5 yards. Played away square. It's going to be 4 more runs. Lovely shot. Time, just another 80 needed. Did that go? Let's see. Gone. Oh my goodness. Taken. Arjun Mahesh going big. I may have jinxed him. Nitish Kumar will never in a million years drop. Struck wide of mid-on. That's going to race away for 4. Did not in any way try to overhit. Short delivery. Hit to the big side. And put down. Oh my goodness, it goes for 4. And Oazia played away square. A lot of work for Laksh Parekh. He will not get there. So this one is played away 1s and 2s until maybe at some point they'll turn it on. That might be turning it on. That's off the back foot, and that is the first 6 of the innings recently, where the keeper collected the ball in front of the stumps. Can't do that. And you also can't bowl short to Akashik Gomel because he will cash in. Aryan Satish will want to pitch that ball up a little bit more because that ball, he basically helped himself to 4 runs. It was short and it was wide, really. He could have hit that. Next delivery. Short in the air again. And a long run by Laksh Parekh. He will not get there. Next ball from Nakash Basarat. Hammered away. A lot of work for Karan Patel. He will not get there. Ooh, put in a fancy slide. That score going to be 4 more. Right toward me here. Unfortunately, I'm about 20 yards away. Next delivery in the air and right to mid-off. Is that a catch this time? Yes, that because that helps you in your net run rate. Down the ground, that's going to be 4, and that's your game. Powerful strike down the ground by Gaurav Bajaj. Gets into.
You're watching the 2024 Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Yash Technologies.